DJ House of Pain, Sandokan Special.
disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because you see me the papa. Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because I will on donga. We not broken, but we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. We not broken, we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. I go, back then I go. In the buildings on me. Back then I go. In the buildings on me.
Again, folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio having so much issue here tonight. I want to thank you very much for joining us. We're going to have a wonderful, wonderful show, that's for sure. But it's just that starting was just something that I have to take care of here, a few things. As usual, when I first start, I have to put myself together because you have to go through your topic line here, and that's what I try to do. But anyway, thank you, folks. Samson told we're going to have a good time here tonight. Share this video if you can, because it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time here tonight. I told you the other day that tonight, when we come on here, we will try to show you different aspects of this Ralphie Highway here. But first thing first, we want to thank God again for this wonderful, wonderful evening. And we want to thank God for continuing to bless us and give us time, long time, making us to come out here every day. Well, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for your blessing. Thank you for your mercy. And God, as we know again tonight, we're going to be out here. We ask you to give us wisdom as we come out here to express ourselves to our brothers and sisters. We ask you, stay with us, continue to bless us. And we will continue to pray for each other. Bless the country and bless the leadership of the country so that all of us will be able to have some sort of an impact of our brothers and sisters. My God. Let's go ahead. Safety. Take care of your car. Your car will take good care of you. In fact, tomorrow I have a safety to do at work. My presentation will be the virus, the coronavirus. I'm going to be doing a presentation on that tomorrow. And the funny thing is, I'm in a different building, far from removed from downtown, but they want me to go downtown. And downtown, where I'm supposed to do my presentation, they just discover coronavirus. Somebody was infected. And the group, my building said, Samson, if you go and don't come back, you got to quarantine yourself for 24 days. So I passed that on to my supervisor, and everybody said, oh, God, just come on, we'll deal with it. So I'm going to go there tomorrow. Let's pray for one. Then I'm going to a building that already, you know what? Let's continue to pray for one another. God is wonderful, and God will be with me. So when I came home, I told my wife, I said, guess what? I'm going to do my presentation tomorrow in that building that I told you about. She said, God is with you. That was the first thing she said. So thank God. We got that on the cover. Anyway, let's go on. I just thought that I'd throw that in there. Samson, I don't hide anything from you. But anyway, let's go ahead. Folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, we're going to have a very interesting show here tonight. But first, let's do what we usually do. And that is they present you to the people, the Republic of Liberia, President Dr. Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected. 60, I don't even remember. Is that 61.5%? Yes, 61%. You know what? Every day that I come on, I'm going to increase it before you look at it's 100%. Excuse me. Before you look, it's 100%. But anyway, we'll do our best here tonight. Well, this is Dr. Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia. And during the election, And since we're on this road of having show the road business, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper here tonight, it's going to be a little bit of an engineering and construction aspect, but I want you to pay attention to some of the things that I'm going to be showing you here tonight. Very interesting, very interesting. I'm not going to go into detail in terms of design because I've not been able to review their design. I've not even been able to lay my hand on the design. But come Friday, I'm going to call a lot of people. If I don't get it, I will put out what I've already gotten in the past from public work technical office, and I will say this is what public work usually do. So what is the difference now? And that's how I'm going to approach it come Friday. I've been calling people, they're not answering. I'm going to improvise. I have to show to do, or else Alfonso's so going to fire me. I don't want that. So let's go on. So that's Dr. Weir. And the next video that I'm going to be showing you is the video of Dr. Weir walking in the mud on one of the major highway in Liberia. And folks, I think these are some of the things that got stuck to his mind that he decided to push this road network. And before I go through that, I think it makes sense of my observation. I think it makes sense. Because Dr. Weir before coming to this position, has a professional position. He's a professional soccer player. But if you look at the soccer business in Liberia, he's not pushing it as you would think, because he's being a former soccer player, went through the heights and got to the peak, the apex of all soccer business in the whole world. Same place where Pele was. That's the place that the whole world put him. So, but then they come back to Liberia and say, I'm going to concentrate my presidency on the road network. Then I think it has to do with some of the video that I'm going to be showing you here. Now, perhaps it's not all of it. Maybe there was some other stuff that got him fixated with this road business. Maybe one day when he was young, going to school, somebody kicked him out of the bus, and maybe he had to walk. And when you were walking the mud, he said, one of these days when I be president, I will put a road on in the country here. The people will say, wow, that job we have put a road like that. Folks, I'm giving it to you as it come through my mind. Maybe some of you like, it sounds so man. What's wrong with it, man? I job we have a thing like that. Well, why can't he think like that? So we'll do the best here tonight. But let's play this video, folks, and then I'll show you other video as well. Let's play this. Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you so you can hold. Yeah, we won't hold the stage. No, I don't need to show the road. I need my stick. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you.
There you have it. There you have it. Dr. Weir walking in the mud of some of the major highway in Liberia during the election, and I strongly believe that because of some of these things, he decided to actually focus his whole presidency on the road business. And at this time, I think it will be somehow if you think he's not going to continue with it, then I think you have to think twice about that. Anyway, let me show you another video. Now that you have seen this, he's focused. His whole thing is now focused on road business. But what is he going to tell? Let's listen to what he's going to tell us this evening. He's going to say to the Liberian people why he's doing this, because he believed that this is his responsibility. He said, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this. You don't have to be thanking me, because this is my job and this is what I want to do. And anybody that's going to come after me will have to find something else, because I will have already connected all of the road in Liberia that are important to the Liberians. Let's listen to that. Samson told Liberian Public Radio.
This is the right thing to do. Our country, it doesn't matter how many homes you got there, if no roads to connect, it's not completed. So I am happy with my road projects. From the capital to the hinterland, I will continue with my road projects. Anyone that will come after me will find something else to do. But I think that Liberia, being the first African Republic, also needs a road network. And this is what we're doing. You don't need to thank me, that's my responsibility. I need to thank you for making me to serve the country. This is the right thing to do.
This is the right thing to do. You don't have to thank me. I have to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this for my country. My goodness. My goodness. Thank you, Dr. Weah. We appreciate it. Now let's go on. Now, this other video that I'm going to be showing you, it's a video that will discourage you from the good thing that in terms of role, the good thing that Dr. Weah is putting out, that he's asking people to implement some of the policy when it comes to role. But this particular video now is going to discourage you, because the folks that are supposed to be implementing the role, this is the role that is supposed to be from Coca-Cola factory, I think, from Red Light to somewhere. I don't know. I don't even, Red Light, I saw Red Light when I went there, I saw Red, but I went through Coca-Cola, but I'm not too sure how to connect it now. But we'll do our best. So anyway, here is these people. They're already going to the job, 75% done. And then at the last minute, they discover that they have LIPO in the way. LEC pole is in the process, in the construction zone. And if these people are the people who are supposed to be implementing the process, the policies of Dr. Weah, then we're in trouble. Because by this time, 75% into the construction process, and you're telling me you just discovered that there's a LIPO in the way? Utility conflict, my boy. Utility conflict should have been resolved long before you even started doing clearing and grubbing, which is the number one thing you do on any job, any construction job. What are you going to cut grass or anything? You got to clear the area. And one of the things, the interesting thing, the thing that really get to me on this on a particular video is that this is a rehab. I can see if it's a new project that you never, nothing have been done on that. No utility, no road, but this is a rehab. They already have road there a long time ago. And because of that, the LEC decided they're going to put pole in the right of way of the government property. So you're going to rehab. First thing you do, you identify the utilities in the area. And you also identify who owns these utilities in this area. And then you contact them and say, we have a project that is coming up. Let's meet. And let's see if we can resolve this. And first of all, you have to know that there's conflict. But obviously, there's utility conflict for them to bring it up to the president. And the president, he himself, he's not an engineer. He's not a construction person. But he's a sensible person. So he said, oh, so they LIPO in a way. After everything telling me 75% done, now he's telling me LIPO in a way. So his question was a surprise. Oh, so the LIPO in a way? Then the minister said yes. I would have been looking for crow at that point. If I was a minister, I would look for crow to eat because I think it was a time to eat crow. Why would you allow these people to do a work? And even before you bring this thing up, you should have some sort of a conversation with the contractor. But it seemed like from the indication, the contractor have already informed the minister. But I think the minister was not quite ready for that to be divulged before the president. Oh, I love this thing. I'm just, as you watch this video over, you learn new things all the time. Let's watch this. Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. Oh, so the LIPO in the way? Yes, the LIPO in the way, Mr. President. Let's watch.
Road embankment, we have this. The most important part is the pavement, which is the placement of the asphalt base course, which is what we're looking at now. We've gone 1.3 kilometers. So it means we have 7 more kilometers to finish with the first 2. Then our concentration will be on the intersection, which is the red light intersection, where we have possibly overpass. And then following that, the concentration will go on in the next 4 kilometers, which is from the red light to the LIBERIA junction. For that one, towards the end of this month, we start to compensate the project affected person. We start to pay them, and then when they clear, we start up the work. Overall, we look at the work being completed within 2 years because of the urban nature that we have. But I think the minister will relate concerning the level of challenges that we have. Like for example, in terms of the light posts, all right? Because in some instances, we have some light posts there, so that is a potential, issue that will delay, us. But we've been working with LEC in terms of that. Yeah. Road embankment, we have.
That was interesting. The guy, having told the president that there's a potential to have a delay here, and the president faced, of course, I couldn't see it, but I'm just speculating. I'm allowed to do that. The president face turned different. Say, oh, then he said, yeah, but the minister is aware of it. He threw the minister right under the bus. Yeah, I tell you, that was. Let me play that again. Watch the interaction between how he said that LIPO was going to be a conflict, and he's saying LIPO is going to be from there to telling the minister and then coming back to the president. Watch the reaction. Listen. But the people keep beating drum, man. That they think about people here. But let's watch. Let me play that again, folks. Let me play that. Very interesting. Very interesting. Listen to this. He will go and tell okay, hold on, folks. Samson told, just hold on, my analyst. Let's go on. I was not able to get him. But anyway, let me play this video one more time and listen to how the contractor is going to try to throw the minister under the bus. I thought that was very interesting. Let's watch. Let's listen to that, please, folks.
The most important part is the pavement, which is the placement of the asphalt base course, which is what we're looking at now. We've gone 1.3 kilometers. So it means we have 7 more kilometers to finish with the first 2. Then our concentration will be on the intersection, which is the red light intersection, where we have possibly overpass. And then following that, the concentration will go on in the next 4 kilometers, which is from the red light to the LIBERIA junction. that one, towards the end of this month, we start to compensate the project affected person. We start to pay them, and then when they clear, we start up the work. Overall, we look at the work that being completed within 2 years because of the urban nature that we have. But I think the minister will relate concerning the level of challenges that we have. Like for example, in terms of the light poles, all right? Because in some instances, we have some light poles there, so that is a potential, issue that will delay, us. But we've been working with LEC in terms of that. Yeah.
Oh, the lipo in the way. He said yes, the lipo is in the way. Folks, Samson told LeBron Pablo, I'm having fun on this thing here. But anyway, let's go on. Mr. George, if you're listening, please just go into the usual place and they send the information out there already. And then once we're ready, I will say it, and then you can join in, and we'll bring you on immediately. Okay, folks, Samson told LeBron Pablo. Let's go on to my main topic here tonight. That's President Dr. Weah. I'm still on this process of this the construction of the proposed construction of the 4-lane highway on Ravensfield International Airport Highway. It has become interesting in the past few days because it seemed to me that there's other things that are going on. But I will bring that topic on. But first of all, let's do this. This is the Ravensfield Highway itself as it is. But there are so many things as I started viewing and reviewing the whole process, even though I'm not involved in the design and I've not seen their design. But it is a very, very interesting, it's going to be very interesting design and construction. You're thinking you're going to be doing 4-lane highway. And if you're going to be doing 4-lane highway, you're going to need extra. Unless people are building their houses along the Ravensfield Highway that are within the government right of way. But if you have smaller right of way, then what is 4-lane going to require? You're going to have to purchase land. And my brother has a land and house right not too far from the highway. So how do you deal with these people? It's going to be a very interesting conversation here tonight. I'm not going to go into detail in terms of design, but I will just give you a little background on what I think most likely going to happen. Okay, what I think when they're ready, if it goes through, when they're ready, they're going to do a 2-segment type of design. Or hopefully they've already done the design, but if they have, but most likely it's 2-segment type of design. They're gonna do a design, okay, for the urban area, which will take you from EW Junction all the way to Shuffling, because that will be considered urban area. And then that will be one segment of it. And then because it's very interesting. I will show you here tonight as well. You have all of these people build their houses, and they have these streets that are connecting from one place to another. How do you merge those onto the highway? That's going to be interesting. That's going to be, and I'll give you some, and most of you that are living in a diaspora, and when I tell you what I'm going to be saying later on, you will say, okay, that would make sense. But once you pass that, you pass Shuffling going to the Ravensfield airport itself, then it becomes a rural highway. First of all, the speed limit that will come from EW Junction to Shuffling, it's not going to be the same speed limit they're going to take from Shuffling to EW to the airport itself. It's not going to be the same speed limit. They will not design that with, for example, the rural area, the design of a speed limit based on that speed limit is not going to be the same design they will have in the urban area. And because of that, the speed limit in the urban area is always reduced. And so that like I said, I've not reviewed their design. So as far as they're concerned, I could be blowing smoke here tonight. But I'm just giving it to you as a designer, what I think most likely will happen, because you're not going to put 50 miles, 60 miles, 70 miles on between from ERW Junction all the way to Suffering, because the people live there, people cross the street. So all of these things going to have to take care of. How do you now? Oh, it's going to be interesting. I don't want to step ahead of myself here tonight. So let's go ahead. This is the ERW Junction Rowell Highway construction. Now let me go ahead and play the video of the the schematic video they put up. I'm going to play it for you, but I put my own touch on there. So let's do the video, and then I'll come back after that.
D12 on the beat.
All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. They will see it. I say they will, yeah. So you forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. You forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When I can go here with eat you. And when I feed it, it will hurt. When I need it, it will ju. Yes, sir. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you was born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. They can do what they do, and they can talk all they talk. They can do what they do. Hey, turn the fire the person, Holy Ghost fire the person. Turn the fire the person. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. They will see a koro with a big apple. They will see a koro with a small apple. They will see a koro with a big apple. They will see a koro with a small apple. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. Nobody can stop it. I say I jump over it. Now who you did by me, I jump away. All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win.
There you have it. There you have it, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Pablito. So you saw the schematic, the rendering of the role, which is and I can assure you, as a designer, I can assure you, when they build a road, it's never going to look anything like that. Because if this road that they're talking about, if they want to build it like this here, they don't have the money, first of all. And so one of the things that I'm going to do here for you on Friday, I'm going to, when I go to work tomorrow or tonight, in fact, I will try to put some numbers together, trying to give you an estimate of what this role, from what they're telling us, what is supposed to, all of the safety aspect, the bridge, and all the kinds of stuff. I will try to put some money together. Now, I have similar experience like that before. Now I don't know the dollar to material, dollar to workman ratio in LIBERIA. I don't know. So I'm going to apply what is here. I did that here with Grand Union Association Women project, where and there was another engineer that checked the same thing and he came up with the same price. But what I did was I gave them the design. I said, okay, this is how much it's going to cost based on what the dollar amount here. Now the material and the the workmanship and things that are back home, they're different. And so when you can do that, but for us, this is what it's going to cost, because I have no numbers to work with. This is a number that I have, and so but then it was a big rule in the place. But anyway, so I'll do that. I'll do my best. And the best thing is asphalt is they make asphalt, even concrete, they make them, unless you want to go cheap. But I'll do my best. But anyway, let's move on. Now that I've shown you, oh Jesus, I should have man. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let me play that one more time because I have to go and set something up, please. So bear with me. Let me play this role one more time, please, because I think I enjoy the music and I enjoy the rendering myself. So, but in the meantime, let me go ahead and put something off here very quickly. Samson to LIBERIA Pablito.
D12 on the beat.
All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. Now who you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. Now who you did by me, I jump over it. They will see it. I say they will, yeah. So you forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. You forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When I can go here with eat you, and when I feed it, it will hurt. Oh, yeah. When I need it, it will ju. Yes, sir. All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you was born to win, yeah. All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. Now who you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. Now who you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it.
I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. They can do what they do, and they can talk all they talk. They can do what they do. Hey, turn the fire the person, Holy Ghost fire the person. Turn the fire the person. All I do was win. All I do was win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win. Yeah. All I do was win. All I do was win. They will see a koro with a BB apple. They will see a koro with a small apple. They will see a koro with a BB apple. They will see a koro with a small apple. Jehovah bless you, no make it curse you. Jehovah bless you, no make it curse you. Hey. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say a jumbo boy, the whole you did for me a jumbo boy. All I did was win. All I did was win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win. Yeah. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win. Yeah. Nobody can stop it. I say a jumbo boy. The whole you did for me a jumbo boy. All I did was win. All I did was win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win. Yeah. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win. Yeah.
Okay, folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. I think you've seen much of, you've seen a lot already. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. The proposals, the project has already, the president have already sent out, dedicated the place, but I'm not too sure what is going on in Liberia. So in a few days, two senators have come out and say this thing here, we're not stopping it, but we're not too sure what is happening. Because we've been hearing that the Senate has rectified the process, and we have no clue. And in order to do a major highway like that, the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the Senate have to be involved, I would think. But now the Senate, two of the senators, Senator Cooper and Senator Dillon, they're saying they have no knowledge, and they're demanding some explanation. So interesting. Today, Press Secretary Toby Smith had an interview with another gentleman, and in that, Smith said that the president does not go around the Senate or the House of Representatives and try to impose his will. So that's remains to be seen. He will not tell the people to push whatever it is, but that's remains to be seen. So I want to do you a favor here. I want to do myself a favor, and that's why I went back to do this. All of the information are going to come after that. I'm not too sure if the government of Liberia will be able to even carry out this project, because if the Senate is not on board, even if you're going to borrow money, the Liberian Senate must be involved, must be informed. And if it is a loan, they're going to have to accept it and agree, because the Liberian people are going to be paid, the money going to be paid from the Liberian coffer. And these are people that are representing Liberians. And so to put a major highway down without talking to the Senate, according to these people, then I think I'm not too sure what is happening. In as much excitement as I have within me about this role, but it must be done, and it must be done correctly. Their concern, and you will hear them here, is with this. This is their concern, folks. The international, the East International Group, which is supposed to be a contractor on this project. First of all, they said they don't even know if these people have the capacity. And the second thing is, they don't know how the bidding process went through. Because before that, the day before the launching or groundbreaking, they were announcing that the construction company will be announced the day of the groundbreaking. I'm not too sure how do you do that. Were they already selected? Did you put out a bid? People send their bid and you inform the other contractor that, because that's what you need to do. People send in your bid and you pick the lowest bidder, but not to the lowest to the point that they're not able to produce. Because you don't put in for $5 million job and somebody tell you, say, I can do it for $250,000. Then what happened? All that money is being left on the table. It doesn't work like that. So the question then is, why are these senators coming up with this kinds of statement? And these are respectable gentlemen, honorable people. Then I don't believe they will just come because of hate. And as you go on Facebook, and this one I will say again, these tiny sedition that consider themselves mouthpiece for the CDC or whatever, they're not doing these people a favor, because these two gentlemen, whatever issue they're trying to express, they're helping the president. You might not believe that, but because if these people are on board, the entire international community that you're going to go beg for, the so-called everybody's on board. But if these people start making noise and start saying, oh, we don't know about this, you go beg for people and say, but wait a minute. People over there, senators, are complaining already. The Europeans, they themselves, they have parliament. They respect the rules. So for an executive to come and just say, we'll do it anyway, and then go and beg for money, knowing fully well, if the money is needed, will be paid, the Senate, the Liberian lawmaker will have to approve the payment structure. But you going out and saying these people are enemy of the state, then that means you guys are not serious. Then you're not serious. Because these two senators, if I were a member of the CDC, I would make sure these two senators come on board. The president need to look into it. How is it that Representative Gray, who is not a member of the Senate, will say this thing was ratified by the senator, and they call Samuel Johnson? According to the two gentlemen, Samuel Johnson, I already told them, I have no clue what these people are talking about. So, folks, this is going to be damning. I hope they've straightened it up. But that's not going to stop me from giving you my information about the road construction here tonight anyway, because I think it's very important. But Oscar Cooper, politics is getting involved. Oscar Cooper, you will listen to him in his presentation. He's from Mount Gibby, and this project, most of it is going to be in Mount Gibby. Okay, so instead of saying we don't want a project, he's not saying that. But this is what he did. He said, look, I'm from Mount Gibby, senior senator. I like this project. But look at Grand G there. Look at Maryland. Look at River G. Look at half of Nima County. Look at Sino. Look at the other county there. These brothers and sisters that are on the other side, when the rain cut them off. They can't get medical supply. He just went on and on. Basically, what this senator is preparing himself is that when the time comes for them to go on the floor and have a debate, that he's already putting in the mind of these senators from the other places. Say, you guys don't have this, and look what they're trying to do here. If we have this money, why can't we put it on your side? Interesting, folks. So I'm saying to you, this project, in as much as I am, full of with excitement and things like that, that we have to be careful. And if the president, if what the two gentlemen are saying, if it is so, in as much as I would like this project to succeed, the president must do the right thing by getting these people on board. Don't do it by selecting selecting the people who are responsible, selecting overnight some sort of a contractor that perhaps do not have the capacity anyway. I've seen their job. So let's go first. Let's go to Senator Dillon. He's going to tell us. Let's go to Senator Dillon, and he's going to lay it out for us. Then from there we'll go to Senator Cooper. It's a very interesting subject, very interesting conversation. So for people to go out now and accuse Senator Dillon and Senator Cooper of being enemy of the state, these people are not drunk. They won't come out public like this to say we never had any conversation on this thing here, when they very well know that they have. Because if Senator Dillon make these kinds of statements and come to find out that they have had conversation on this and it was truly ratified by the Senate, then I think Senator Dillon is in a big trouble. Because people believe in him. Because whenever he says something, people believe that what he's saying is true. So for them to come out now and make these kinds of statements that perhaps might not be truth, then I think they themselves have some serious problem. But until then, I think I will take their words for me. So let's listen to Senator Dillon Sampson to LIBERIA Public Radio.
Distinguished Senator, the floor is yours.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the media, welcome. And I want to say thank you to my distinguished senior colleague, Senator Oscar Cooper of Magidi County. It is a distinguished honor for me to have Senator Cooper in my office for us to hold this joint media interaction. The key issue we want to discuss today is to let the public know that the Liberian Senate as an institution has not taken any position regarding the East International Company that has to do with the RRA expansion project. We have been informed through the media, particularly via OKFM, that Representative Carol Gray has been on the radio to the effect that the Liberian Senate, during our emergency sitting, concurred with the House of Representatives to ratify the agreement to expand the RRA highway. To the best of our recollection, that is totally untrue. What is even more appalling and disappointing is when the chairman on executive from the Liberian Senate takes to the airway to agree or concur with Carol Gray that this Senate acted. A little background of this is, before we went on break, our constituency break, back in October, the President of Liberia had written the Liberian Senate seeking our advice on how to transfer that contract from bombing to the RRA expansion project. And the plenary decision was that to advise the President was not a function of the legislature, and that the leadership of the Liberian Senate should send a letter back to the President and handle it there appropriately. Meaning, the Liberian Senate did not take an action or any such action to concur with or agree with the President to transfer whatever ratification with East International with the project from bombing to the RRA. When we return to emergency session as was called for by the President did similar communication, and the Liberian Senate took similar action. So we have not acted as a body, plenary, we have not voted, we don't know. And the Liberian Senate did not act to ratify any such agreement. In as much as we are not against any developmental project or agenda of our country, while we wish the RRA road can be expanded, but even though with priority on other southeastern and other roads in the country, we want to be clear that the chairman, I want to be clear on the record, that the chairman of the executive committee of the Liberian Senate, Senator Sir Joseph, lied this morning on OKFM in his political agreement with Akaros Gray from the House of Representatives, who is not a senator and does not understand or know what's happening in the chambers of the Liberian Senate. Senator Oscar Cooper will expand on that and give other information, and then we can open up.
Distinguished Senator, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
You heard that. Senator Dillon's just, and somebody just wrote here, Joshua, I think, same way, said Senator Sanos said something. I've never seen that. So if you can help us out, I will appreciate it. That's what we do here on Liberian Public Radio. We try to enlighten each of us, each other. So what you saw, if it's different from what the people are saying, something have changed there, please help us out here so we do not go on making some ridiculous statement here this evening, because I have not seen that. But anyway, in the meantime, until I can see other things, let me just show you what I have. Okay, now let's go on now to Senator Cooper, and which is another interesting dynamic as well. Let's go to Senator Cooper and let's hear Senator Cooper now. Samson to Liberian Public Radio.
Senator Oscar Cooper will expand on that and give other information, and then we can open up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator. Fourth Estate, look, the Liberian Senate, to my knowledge, and if you all are aware, I was chairman of Public Works for 6 years more. I know about East International when it was introduced by the Minister Judy Moore at that time. They didn't have the prerequisite or accomplishment or degree to even do that road from PTC to Budget Bureau. There was some questions at that time on East International. Look, there are only two ways. There are one way rarely where you bring about a road project. After your feasibility studies and all that, then you source the funding. The funding for RRA, the source of funding, where it will come from, World Bank, or it will come from a loan from friendly countries, is that funding the Ministry of Finance will structure and send that document for ratification. That financing document to show the government of Liberia is obligated for $101 million has to be ratified by the legislature, which is the House of Representatives and the Senate. That today I have not seen any document of that sort, any instrument that shows where the source of funding, that shows where the government of Liberia being obligated to, and how the money will be paid, and how the interest rate. I, the Senate, have not seen that document. Now that's the process that gets ratified, because that means you got the funding. Then that goes to the bidding. Now you put it out the bid because you got the money. So the bidding process is also in question. How was it bidded? Was it sole source? PPCC involved? How did it come about? So there's a lot of questionable things happening here with the RRA road. Now, as a Margibian senior senator, the road will come from RRA, which is in Margibi County. As Senator Dillon said, we have no objections to development. But having been chair of Public Works for a long time, and I've always been making the argument that the Southeast, every rainy season, the people in the Southeast, the 5 counties or 6 counties, sometimes 7, Nimba is not in the Southeast, but they get cut off from Ganta to Tapita. Grand Gina cut off. River G, cut off. Maryland, cut off. Sino, cut off. Grand Cru, cut off. River Cess, cut off. We have these 6 to 7 counties that every year they get their roads, supplies, goods and services, health services. Nothing can get to our people in that part of the country. Again, now we're approaching another rainy season. So funding, if we got this $101 billion funding, my people, isn't that right to make sure 7 counties out of 15 don't experience hardship this upcoming rainy season? What is the priority? On Roberts Street Road, the road is paved now. Maybe you fix the shoulders so you can't have cars stopping on the main road or pulling off on the shoulder. But the priority is where? It's 7 counties. But forget about that part. But that, I just had to introduce this to the people of Liberia. But the legality or the lack of the legality of this agreement has many open questions to East International and how they got the award, where is the money coming from, how the government going to pay for it, what are the financing agreement, what are the interests. None of this have been divulged. So what did the Senate pass? What instrument did we pass in the Senate that Honorable Akaras Gray alluded to and Honorable Sir Joseph is alluded to? We are going to make requests for those instruments.
Correct.
They said there was a committee report, but who made a committee report? They allege that's Senator Sandro Johnson, who is committee head of concession. No, it's not in his purview.
He
it's not in his oversight.
He has rejected and denied
that's correct.
NSS report.
Senator Johnson have told us verbally he has not made any report.
Correct.
All right. So what report came on the floor? What ratification came on the floor to give warrant to this contract? Obligating the government of Liberia to $101 million without proper authority.
Right.
This is the
will
issue.
Summon the agenda
This is the issue.
the day it is claimed that the Senate acted on this issue. We will summon and demand the agenda for that day, because we also have our agenda for that day, or whichever day
And the
that we
report from the committee, no? What report?
What report? The minutes of the Senate transaction for that day, and how this issue became an issue for voting to ratify. When did the House forward anything here for us to concur with, especially during the emergency sitting period?
Exactly.
Mr. Gray said this morning on radio, of course, you know he runs the Bank of Lies, said the Oscar Cooper will stand on that.
Folks, I'm saying total Liberia public radio. The politics in Liberia is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. They're not that far away from what is happening here in the United States also. By the way, on a very serious note, you just heard the 2 senators expressing their dissatisfaction based on what they just said. I mean, the process of attaining the approval from the Senate, if at all they need. That wasn't done according to them. So if what they're saying, if it is true, I would think the president and those who are involved will find themselves somehow go and follow the rule, because these are rules that they as a government, you have, of course, Liberian government, they have three branches of government anyway. So, but you can't just sit there as an executive and say what I say will happen. And we just heard this afternoon where Toby Smith said the president does not impose his will on anybody, let alone the Senate. So I think if what these gentlemen are saying, but from now on, before tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will find out. We will find, because people like Dallas Dillon and Cooper, they're not going to let it go. They're going to make sure that these things are done correctly. Yes, Dallas Dillon, who is giving part of his salary back to Montserrat County. And I don't believe that he would just do that because he wants to sit in that Senate. And I think for those who are considered tiny sedition to go and call these people names as being enemy of the state, they're not doing us as Liberians, they're not doing us a favor either, because this particular issue here, what these two gentlemen, where these two honorable men has raised, that's something that any of us Liberians, whether you're in a diaspora or you're back home, you should follow. I'm not saying what they're saying is quite right, because I'm not there, I don't know, but these are allegations they're putting out there, so we have to follow them. And if you have the statement from Sano that I've not seen, in fact, you guys have just pricked my interest, I will now go and do more research on that and see if I can come up with that. So Friday, perhaps that will be part of my presentation as well. Now, with that said, let me continue with mine. Let's suppose that nothing happening. In fact, I'm also here to say though that I agree with those that continue to make the statement to say perhaps we need to do Rawafi Highway. First of all, it's a death trap. I agree with that. Second, and this is a gateway to the country of Liberia. A foreigner coming in, they're not going to go fly straight to Grand Jide. They come through Rawlsfield first, and then they can go to Grand Jide. So if we present ourselves, the city, the lights coming from Rawlsfield all the way to Monrovia, dignified as a people, a proud people. I think then when we ask them to say, oh, Grand Jide ain't got a lot of lights right now, but I mean, we're working on it. They'll say, yeah, but look at their entrance to the city. I think perhaps I'm being naive, but I think I will be on that side to argue that if we have the money, let's do the Rawlsfield Highway first. But from all what I'm looking at, they might not, and I'm like I said, come Friday, I will do my best to present to you my own estimate. But from all that I'm seeing, if what they're talking about, all these lights, and to put these lights up on the highway, the spacing has to be based on the international light spacing, because just when you go to your parking lot again, and I'm not an electrician, but I have few classes of electricity, so I mean electronic and all. I did some of those, so I still remember a little bit. But in one of my electrical class that I had, as a civil engineer, you have to have all of these things. You don't. It's not like you're going to graduate with a degree as a double E. I don't like double E anyway. Or it's not like you're going to graduate with a degree as a mechanical engineer. But what they do, they give you the insight of mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, what they do. Okay, and now. Right now, if I were to be in Liberia, not even here, if I want to build here and be able to electrify my building, I can't do that, because all I have to do is go get my notes and look at my own notes, because I can still do calculations. I can take a wire from the electrical services from outside, as long as they put it on my building. They give me what I want. I do all my calculation, all of the amps and all that kind of stuff. I come out with the total that I want. Tell the electrical people, the people that supply electricity to me. I say I want this amount. They put them on. I can split it out. I can do all of that. I'm not worrying about it. But the point that I'm trying to make for me going through all of East Jesus here this afternoon is this. If you go in your parking lot, when the light pole, first of all, next time when you go to this parking lot at night, don't just walk. Observe the area. There are certain area is brighter. There are certain area is not as bright as the other one. But here's what I want you to look at. The light pole itself, from the ground up, the length, the height of that light pole is based on what they call lobe. It's based on the brightness and the shining of the light. Okay, because it's just like umbrella. You have the umbrella up and you have the thing over your head. So what they do is, okay, here's the light pole here. Here's the light bulb. It's shining like this. They don't shine go like that. It goes like a round thing, just like umbrella. So they'll say, let's put the other one up, but we have to have them to intersect each other. And based on the spacing, will give you the aluminum of the light pole itself, and the lights are coming out. Based on the spacing, you have to have some sort of an intersection. Now, based on that, you have to have the spacing on the highway. They tell you on the highway, they're not the same kind of parking lot light you're gonna have. It's not the same as the one you're gonna have on the highway. No, far from it. So the basic thing I'm telling you right now is this. It's 28 miles. Okay, 28 miles. So from Ralphie to ELW is 28 miles. Okay, so the 28 miles, if you do the spacing that's gonna be required, I'm sure you're gonna have more lights. And other thing, as you get closer to places like Ravelsfield, the lighting condition gonna be changing. The brightness is gonna be shining more because you're getting close to the area. And as you get close to Monrovia, similar situation. On the highway, in a rural area, the spacing might be different as well because you're not quite that concerned with the, seeing and what have you. So that's just what it is. I'm just giving it to you as it is. So I think what I'm trying to tell you is, if you go through all of the thing they're trying to do, the $95 million might not even be enough. Think about it. The bridge, unless they're going to give us some kind of Montpellier type of road, some kind of Bobati road, then you call it 4-lane highway. Then you can get that kind of thing. But I will look into it. Maybe the money is not enough, or maybe the money is not. I will look into it. I haven't done my estimate yet. So let's go on. So let's take everything as it is. The president has set his process in place, and now those who are supposed to implement it, they're supposed to do that. They have selected East International Group. And from all indication and from all my research, in East International Group, I don't think they have the capacity. I don't think so. And so tonight, I'm going to show you some of the equipment. I said some. I'm not saying all. I will show you some of the equipment you're going to need to do serious construction. Now, on this construction, remember, a year or so ago, there was a heavy rain. And people they couldn't even go through Ralphie. They couldn't go to the airport because the whole road was swallowed up with water. So where's that water coming from? It rains, yes. But if it rains, I don't think all of that water just comes from that one area. There must be some tributary that comes from different places, and they converge onto a low land. And as a result, the road itself, it's in a lower land. So what are they going to do? They have a choice. They can elevate the road, lift the whole road up, and leave the water and people behind. But when you do that, how do you convey the water? Because if you don't put the pipe or don't put some means for the water to get out, when it rains and the rain can't get out, then you flood the people upstream. You don't want to do that. Most of the places in Liberia that the government, and I would just say government, people build, most of the places they're in the flood area. And these people are not quite aware of it until it rains. And to build in the flood zone, first of all, you're going to have to find out how much water comes into this place here. Nobody's doing that, but that's not even the concern here tonight. Okay? But what I'm going to do from a construction perspective, I will show you different equipment that will be needed for them to actually do these kinds of work. Not all of it. There's many more that they're supposed to have. They're supposed to have trucks and all that, but I'll just show you some of the major equipment that I consider to be important. Okay. So let's go on. Let's go on. First thing first. All right. I'm going to show you here, folks. Samson to Labron Paparito. Let me get this junk out of the way. All right. The first one I'm going to be showing you is called Motor Grader, and it's called Motor Grader, You know, the great backbone, the grading, the machine that grade, and this motor grader does a lot of things. It grades the roll to a specific elevation that is being set by the engineers. Okay, and the surveyor will come out on this road and put marked survey stake to say from this point to this point, fill so much. From this point to this point, cut so much. It's called cut and fill. Okay, so but I'm not going to go into the engineering point of it here tonight, folks. That's not what I want to do here. I want to talk about the equipment. I think that let's do the equipment here. All right. This is called the equipment that I'm going to be showing you now. It's called right there, motor grader. Okay. Now, motor grader does different things, as I stated before. But the main thing I want you to see here, any company that want to do this work, you must be able to have the capacity to do something like this. Okay. Now let's go. What is grader? What is it supposed to do? How does it work? How does it function? And I put a video together here for you. Watch this.
Motor graders can roll and mix materials to get proper, consistent moisture. The blade action also effectively breaks down dirt clods for better compaction.
The advantage using a motor grader to be able to roll that material to mix it and keep the gradations consistent, and you could do that with a motor grader.
With the blade, it's easy. You have a water truck wetted in front.
When it comes to grading, a motor grader does it all, from start to finish. A motor grader has the power and weight to handle rough grading behind trucks and scrapers. The same machine is also ideal for finish grading. Motor graders give you the ability to finish with tight tolerances and precision to work around tight spaces, like curbs and manholes.
We're doing a lot of airport aprons, finishing infields so they can pave them for dust control.
So that's motor grader, okay? Let's go to the next one. The next one I'm going to be showing you is a trench. And you will say, but Mr. Toh, what do you need a trench for? What do you need a trench digger for? And the trench, think about it. They're talking about putting lighting in this place. So if you're going to put light on a roll, you're not going to put light running wire from the sky. You're going to run wire on the ground. And this is going to be very interesting. That's why I love this job of this president trying to do about the rope connection. Because if he's successful to do these things, the trench that they're going to dig to put light wire, to run a wire from one pole to another, most likely it's not going to be just the electrical wire that's going to run through there. In that trench, you can also run all of your utility, cable line, telephone line, high-speed line. You can use that same trench and put all of those things in there. Of course, they're going to be separated by the color coding, or you can separate them by the kinds of tubing you're going to use. And you can, but you don't have to in an area where, for example, they're going to be crossing the road and that place is too shallow. Then you encase it in concrete so the weight of the truck don't mash them out. But most of the time they don't do that. They just run it side by side on the side of the road. But they have all of the electrical wires running through there. You have cable wire running through there. You have telephone wire running through those things. All of them, they use the same thing. Most of the time they're on a government right away anyway. So there's some sort of understanding. Okay, so this I'm going to be showing you now the trench. I just show you the grader. The grader, as you heard the guy, the grader not just a grade, but the interesting thing is, as a grade, it makes the sand up for complete compaction. And I will go into that on Friday. The compaction of the dirt. What are you trying to achieve? You're trying to realign the soil particle. And most soil, not even most, soil particle is air, water, and soil. Okay? But you're trying to match them out so that the particles themselves will be so much aligned with each other that it becomes difficult for water to penetrate. Okay? And that's why you need those things and I will show you that next time as well, for you to have a compaction. And even on your own house, if you're building a building, your foundation, after they finish digging the foundation, make sure they compact that. Because if they don't compact the foundation, the earth, and decide to just pour the concrete and the steel alone will not help you from settlement. Because if the earth is not lined, they realign the particle of the soil. Eventually, because you have so much pores, they're open, water in it, air in it. And now you put concrete on it. Eventually, the water and the air, the concrete is so heavy, the water and the air want to go somewhere else. So as they leave a void in there. Because that's the void. When you compact, you take the void out. But because they don't do compaction and you just put the concrete on and think say it's strong, you're joking. Because the void in there now, eventually the weight of the concrete will start crushing the void. Before you look, you have settlement. And the settlement, what does it do to your basement? What the settlement will do to your house? You will have a crack in the house. And the crack can be so bad. So my sister's house, when I went home, my sister had a friend, we went to her place. I mean, you can see the separation. I'm sure within the next 4 or 5 years, that whole side of the house is going to be gone. The only fix in it, and that only kind of fix they're doing in Liberia, is to jack that side up and pour grout underneath. And that's not what they're going to do. Okay? But let's go back to what I'm saying here. You have to compact the soil if you want to utilize the area. Okay? So let's go back into this trench stuff that I'm going to be showing you now. All right? I'm going to show you the trench. This is the trench digger here. This trench digger. It's you know, there are many style of type of trench digger they use. There are many of them. They have some that very, very much involved, but they're very expensive. So, but for this kinds of job, I show you a little hand, you know, something you can put on a bobcat and do a trench digging. But you're going to have, especially if you're going to put light, on this road, you must have a trench digger. You can't have Liberian young people digging with digger and then you think you will finish a job in 3 years. Far from it. But the trench digger, you go to a specific depth, and the depth is constant. It's constant. Even if it's on the slope, you're going to go along the slope, so they're constant. Okay, and in Liberia, you don't have no winter time to say, okay, well, it's going to freeze out and things. So in the East Coast, most of the trenches, they're not anything less than 3 feet deep. Most of them 4 feet, so that no ice can go under there. That's the reason. Okay, but let me show you. That's a trench digger right there. Okay, now let me show you now what the trench digger look like. And those of you that have money, that trying to do business in Liberia and want to do these kind of thing, these are very important tools, not just for major highway construction. Let's look at trench digger, Samson to Labron Public Radio. I'm just going through the construction process here this evening, and after that, then I will show you a little bit of what if they do certain thing, what we should be expecting. Samson to Labron Public Radio. Let's go ahead. Let's look at the trench digger. That is the trench digger. You saw the digging on the side of the road, so that eventually they will be able to put wiring in a tube, different type to size, whatever size they're going to put in there, and they run a wire through it. Okay. After they do that, of course, those plastic tube that they can be bent, or even you can put air bowl in those things to go to the area you want to go. But it's very important that you do have trench digger. Okay, I'm going to go on to another one. One of the most important equipment you must have. This is a must. You can't bring something from Total and start digging with shovel and things. No. Then you're not doing good. Okay, but these are things on a very serious note. These are things when you have as a contractor, people believe that you can do the job. You don't go and rent these things, because if you're renting, you can rent, but that means who's going to operate? If you rent, you must rent. Are you also going to rent an operator? So these kinds of stuff, if you have them, that means you have strong base and you have the capacity to do certain construction. You can't come from supplying, building supplier, and then you say, because I got money now, I'm going to construction, and start doing and expect to do a complex job like the major highway in Liberia. And not because we're in Liberia, that means we buy anything gold. Please, not that one. It ain't happening. But let's go to this. The next one is called excavator. Okay, excavator. Now, excavator is a very nice tool to have if you know how to operate it. It's a very nice tool to have, but it's a must. It's a must, because if you can't use the excavator, okay. Now, don't get me backhoe excavator. No, that ain't gonna work on Ralphie Highway. Please give me something decent, something rubber thread. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that, but I don't want no backhoe excavator. Now, here's excavator. Samson told LeBron Public Radio folks. Here's the excavator here. Now, I'm going to now show you how does the excavator operate. And I know most of you have seen these kinds of stuff before. When you're driving on a construction site, you see the guy, oh yeah, the man can operate, you go take this thing and dump. The excavator, it's a digger, but it takes out the dirt. Most of the time, it's helpful if you're cutting a hill. If you're cutting a hill to a specific elevation, you use this to dig, take that bucket, take the dirt, and put it in the dump truck. And I'm not going to show you dump truck yet tonight, because I think most of you know what a dump truck is. Okay? So you take this excavator. Sometimes you have 4 or 5 of them on one job. Depends on how big the job is and the timeline to finish the project. Okay? So you have this excavator. Now let's look at the excavator. What exactly excavator is supposed to do for us? Let's watch. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. That's the excavator. It digs and take the dirt and put it in the bucket, from the bucket to the dump truck. But if you have an efficient operator and somebody who knows his job, it's very good. It's very good. I have a guy here in the Bay Area, a Liberian guy. But he has done so many of those things. He's very good at his as an excavator operator. He's very good, and they make good money. There's no question asked, because these are people that make the contractor money. Because, for example, if you have to remove certain amount of cubic yard of dirt, if you have to move a certain volume, and you have a good operator, and you have these truck liners, the guy is not there to start counting. Oh, Sansinto went to Tota, he come back. No, he's there with his hand moving these things, turn around. And here's the interesting thing from an engineering perspective. Here's what I want to tell you about some of these equipment. For example, if you're a contractor, you have a good estimator. They have a book. They tell you what is the length it takes for that boom from the time the man press the button for the boom to pick up, turn around, and dump. You got to calculate that time to see how long it's going to take you to finish with a specific area. And as you also do that, the length of the boom, and that's why when you're a good operator, the boom extend out. And that's one of the reasons why when you contractor, first thing you find out what are the overhead utility in the area. Because if you have an overhead utility and not able to resolve the conflict, and you have a excavator that have a boom, you hit that utility, you going back to total. Not on the plane. In the plane better. And so as a contractor, those are kinds of stuff. But anyway, from an engineering perspective, how long does it take to dig a pile of dirt that is maybe so many cubic yards? Okay. And if you're taking those, you calculate how long it would take my operator to turn that thing around dumb. And how long would it take the truck to go? How long is it going to take the truck to come back? How many load I can get out of this? And you put all of those calculations together as an estimator. Then you put prices on them. Folks, it's good. These things are very enjoyable. They're good. I don't do them anymore. But I used to enjoy them. But anyway, let me go now to the next one. Let's go to the next one I'm going to be showing you here. And this is called dozer. People call it bulldozer. Okay, this is very interesting. This other one, this particular bulldozer here, very interesting because it does so many things. But back home, this thing, and when I say back home, because I was little when they were building the road from from Liberia to Ivory Coast, so I saw this, and this machine used to terrify me. But this machine is also very good. It puts the blade against the tree, and they push the tree, okay, and root the tree out, and then we'll just take it up like that. But not this little one here, big one, big one, okay. They have another. It does similar job to the next thing I'm going to be showing you, but what this does is, you have a hillside, okay, and you're cutting, but the hillside have basically clear the what you call topsoil, pretty much topsoil and rocky area and things like that. So you use it to loosen the rock, and then the excavator going to come and take them out, okay. But the big thing here, this thing gives you a path. It clear all the tree out. Okay, that's what I call bulldoze. That's why when you hear somebody say, "You want to bulldoze me?" This is what it means, because that machine, it care what kind of tree you can be. Sasugu tree, where it will knock you off, because you're not gonna play Sasugu way. Sasugu tree, the way it will knock it off, man. He can't. But that's what this particular machine will do for you. It will clear the path, and sometimes it helps also to fill. It helps to fill the valley. It helps to fill the filling area. As the next machine I'm going to show you, bring this dirt, dump it in there, and this machine comes out almost like a level. It push the dirt, keep pushing the dirt and bringing the dirt to a specific elevation as well. It doesn't grade. Now you can be a good operator, but to use this to grade, you got to be 30-40 year operator on these kinds of stuff. But it's very interesting, very interesting. Now let's show you now how this machine supposed to do this bulldozer. Let's watch bulldozer. Samson told LIBERIA Pub Radio. Now, folks, that's the bulldozer. The tire on this bulldozer, most of the, you know, like here, you know, you have an area, for example, if you have a project, and the owner say, I want rubber tire. That means they don't want you to strip the existing road, so you use rubber tire. But if you are plowing through virgin forest, why will you use rubber tire? You're gonna get stuck. So you use these metal blade, metal thread that will give you good traction. Okay. Now let me show you the last one I'm going to be showing you, and this one very interesting and But before I show you that, let me tell you a little story about this one. When I was little, very young, very little, I think I was about maybe 5 or 6 years old. So I went to visit my grandma in the Ivory Coast. And so they were building a road from Togo. I think they were just fixing it because the road there before I even knew myself. But from Togo all the way to Keye, that Basabli area. Yeah, folks, you don't know that. But anyway, so in that area, I consider myself, because when I come from Togo town, I go to Ivory Coast, I'm a Liberian. You don't mess with Liberian. So, but when these young kids would take me, all of us would go to the water side, would go swimming and stuff, and then we'll come back, we talk, we walk on the main road. But this particular machine comes and clean a little bit on the side. And for some reason, this also used to terrify, so I started running. And this fool driver decided to follow me. My goodness, I ran all the way from Basabli to Keye. But I was running. Even if the thing stopped, it didn't follow me all the way, but I've just stopped because it had tire on it. And I just, kind of think about it. Those are some of the time my eyes started opening, because but before that, I've never seen this kind of machine before. The tire is so big, and I'm thinking to myself, this thing hit me, it will roll over me. My goodness, I was running like nothing. I just thought I'd tell you this story. But by that time, I was not Blokuyo. Don't say Blokuyo scared. Yeah, I was scared. What do you mean? But anyway, folks, let's go on. Let's go on. Let me show you now. This is what I told you the last time. In fact, back home, we call this tenant pole. But the real name is stripper. A strip. The bottom, at the bottom, they have a blade, and as it rolls over, the operator can press the machine down, and the blade will dig deeper, and then they take out dirt. So it does the same thing, almost the same thing as the dozer, except it doesn't go plowing through trees. The dozer will clean the area. Then this thing comes out and cut some of the hill and go, because it has a pin. When it folds up, then it closes at the bottom, closed. And when the bottom closed, the dirt is not going to fall out. So it gets to an area where they want to dump the dirt, for example, the cutting hill, to fill the valley. So they get to the valley and open this pan up, and the dirt falls from the pan. And then it go back and repeat itself. So it's a very interesting, but they call it scraper. And I'll show you. Now, on this particular job I'm going to be showing you, there are two of them connected because they wanted to do the job quicker. And like I said, contractor, they make money based on what they can produce faster. And that's why as an inspector, you have to watch these people, because they're there to make money. They will come and be friends with you and laughing and carrying on and stuff like that, try to share their lunch and things like that with you. It doesn't mean anything. They will cut corner and steal from you, because that's what contractor would do. They want to make money. They want to make money. So, but you have to, as an inspector, you open your eyes. So, okay, you go to this man, the pen operator, the supervisor. So, okay, how many dirt have you taken? Because you have to. Sometimes they come out and say, "Oh, we took so many cubic yards today." But okay, first of all, in the book you have, as an engineer, there's a book that will tell you how many cubic yards this thing able to take, and you're telling me you get how many trips have you made? to get this amount of cubic yard, and I know this truck doesn't take this much cubic yard. So how can you do that? Well, as soon as you do one or two, they know you smart. They're not going to put a wolf over your eyes anymore. But as an inspector, if you're not careful, if you just play, just sit down and because you ain't got anything to do, no. Walk around and see what they're doing. Another thing as an inspector you need to pay attention to. Make sure all of these equipment that are coming on your job site, they have a horn, number one. And second, and when they're backing up, you should hear the ping, ping, ping. If you don't have it, kick this machine off of your project. Because that's safety. It's if somebody is back, this thing, if it's backing up, you can't hear nothing. Because there's so many of them going, so many noise, you can't hear. But if you can hear the horn, wah, wah, you can hear that and get out of the way. So as an inspector, you have to watch these things. Sam Cinto, I don't know why I'm going through all of these things here tonight. Anyway, but I'm doing my best. Sam Cinto, LeBron Public Radio. This is what we do here, folks. Don't disrespect me. I'll play it before I play it. No, let me finish my stuff. Then you must can have fun. But anyway, this is called Stripper. Now let's watch what Stripper. Oh, Sam Cinto, you killed me. Stripper. No. Oh my goodness, amazing. Doesn't matter. In that kind of important conversation I'm having with my brother and sister, then I can't bring that kind of name. I won't even call it now. Y'all call it machine, before I made a mistake again. Sam Cinto. Folks, I'm just doing my best here. Let's watch this machine. It's very interesting. Sam Cinto, LeBron Public Radio. It's called pen, actually. Some people call it pen, if you can call it that way. Scraper, pen, tenant pole, whatever. So let's watch. Okay, folks, that is the these are the different type of machines. Some of the important machine you must have to be able to do a decent highway project. To be honest with you, because these machines, they're very expensive. Of course, I'm not saying they're not. They're very expensive, but they will do the job effectively and efficiently. Okay, you don't have people coming in digging here and doing these kinds of stuff, because if you think you're going to build this this highway with hands, you can do that, but it will take you longer time, number one, and your handiwork will not be as good as it's supposed to be. So I thought that I'd show you this. Now, like I said, I'm not going to spend time on the design here tonight, but what I'm going to do is to show you. Okay, just imagine what I'm going to be showing you next. Just imagine you have a bread, one of the loaf of bread, and you slice it. Okay, it's called, if you take the roll where you're looking at over there, just imagine you slicing the roll. Okay, and when you do that, you will find what's underneath. Okay, and there are different structure sections that you support. And I'm not, like I said, I don't know these people design. I wish I have my hand on these people design, but I will continue to look. But if I don't have anything, I will put up something, the kinds of structure section Public Works has in their storage, because they've sent me stuff before when I worked for to do something for whatever. I utilize their structure section because I can't make a structure section for them while they're over there in Liberia. And one of the interesting things they have in Liberia, from all of the public works structure section that I have, an international standard call for the slope from the crown of the road to the shoulder, they call for 2%, but in Liberia they do 2.5. So I don't argue with them, but the point is, I try to say, okay, maybe because it rained too much, and like I've always explained to you, you don't want water staying on your road. You want water to get away from your road, and especially when that kind of road they're going to be building. Okay, but let me now go into just what I consider to be what if these people think they're going to do this road here. Okay. And you saw the schematic. They have light pole in the middle of it. And other area you're gonna have light pole outside of it. But first of all, you will be within your how do you call it? You will be within the confine of the right of way. So let's look at it. Let's look at it. Samson to Labrador Public Radio. Okay. Let me take my picture out of there first so I can show you. Here is what I will imagine. I hope they have 2 lane going, 2 lane coming. And in the middle, either you can depress it or you fill it up. And if you fill it up, then at the edge of the outside lane, at the edge of the inside lane. Now, the inside lane, what you will call number 1 is the one on your left-hand side is the number 1 lane. The one on the right-hand side is the number 2 lane, and it's called the outside lane. The inside lane, between the inside lane and the green in the middle, there will be a ditch, because the water coming from, if you don't depress the middle, if you take it up, you will have to put a crown on it. So the water coming from the middle in the grass, it's not going to be, you're not going to be filling it in with concrete or you can do it that way. Some other area they might. In fact, if you want to, if you're going to put how do you call it? If you're going to put a barrier, concrete barrier in it, then you will pave against the barrier. It doesn't matter concrete, asphalt, it doesn't. But you will pave against the barrier. You can't put barrier in the dirt. I've not seen it. Not that you can do it, but I've not seen it. So, but most likely, if you're going to put tri-beam, if you're going to put guardrail, if you're putting guardrail in the middle of it, it's going to have to be tri-beam. Okay, and tri-beam is different from your normal guardrail. But Friday I will show you a little bit of those things. Okay, so you put that in the middle of it. You put a tri-beam in there, and if you put a tri-beam, sometimes they have tri-beam facing each other, or sometimes they go back to back. Okay, and then you have the railing itself on the side of it to protect people. And there's a gentleman that watching me right now, Alan Jeru. Few years ago, I think Alan was with them, or it was Charles Paul, but one of those young brothers of mine. They were traveling from Philadelphia going to another state, and they had an accident. But there's a wire on the medium that stopped their van from going across. And when you're driving on these highway, the divided highway in the East Coast, most of the time they have these wires. But these wires, they're very strong. They are not wires your car can punch through and break them through. Only a truck can do something like that most of the time. But when these young brothers, they were driving and something happened, when they went through the medium, they were not able to bust through the wire to go and have a head-on collision. Now, the medium here, when you put the safety stuff there, it stops a head-on collision, because the other traffic coming this way, opposite end, and you're going. So when you make a mistake and you hit the guardrail, you're coming back on your road. So you're not gonna have another truck coming and hitting you head-on collision. Now there have been some guardrail that failed completely, and you have some incident. But that's not the reason you're gonna put this kind of thing up. Okay, all right. So the point now that I'm going to be making here, and I'm continuing to say, is the new right of way, because the lane of a street, the lane of a highway, is 12 foot. So two of them are 24. One side. So shoulder is anywhere from shoulder on a major highway. Okay, on a major highway, right lane 5 to 10. Inside anywhere from 2 to 4 shoulder width. Okay, that's standard. That's just asphalt. And the people, Liberian government said they want to bring this thing to standard. You're going to have to follow that. You can't say because you call it standard, then you give me no shoulder. And then you call it highway, then it's not a highway, then it's an added. Okay, so those are kinds of stuff. I wish I got my hand on these people design, because then I will try. You see, this is some of the things that we continue to say to this government. Get Liberian engineers involved. Let them review your design, and you don't tell me because it comes from Europe that means they're good. No. It comes from Europe. Why, if they make mistake, have other Liberians that live in the country, that their country, they will seek the interest of the country. Have the Liberian engineer to review these things. Don't just say it comes from Europe because Italian made it so it's good. No. The Italian that designed it, some of them, the only time they come and see the site and go back. They don't live there. They don't live there. Even if they rather do the hydrology of the place, they're not going to go all the way upriver and say that water coming from all the way. Let me measure from. But a Liberian engineer will do that because he doesn't want to get called next time. These people, as soon as you pay them, your contract finished. They expect you to do maintenance. So get the Liberian engineer involved so they can pay attention to some of these things that you, public work minister, that you have specified in the design. You say you want this, you want that. I hope. And here's the other thing. Where's the environmental documents? Let me get my hand on these things here. You don't have to come and say something. I want money, I love money. But no, on a very serious note, the environmental document. You got frog on this road. You got snakes on the road. You got fish on the. Who's protecting those things? Who's here going to be protecting the frog, the snake, the fish, and the bird, and all that kind of stuff? Who's going to protect them? It is you, the Liberians, because these things are yours. The frog, the snake, the fish, the birds, everything. They are in Liberia. You don't expect Ghanaians, Nigerians to come and pay attention to your frog, your snake. They don't care because that's not their own. Those are environmental sensitive issues. The wetland, those wetlands need to be protected. These things are very important to the lives, to have a good, decent life. The wetland, all of these things serve a specific purpose. God didn't just put them here because they want you to come and get rid of them. But those are kinds of stuff you have to think about. If you go, and I bet you, if you were to go and put a binder together and have all of the environmental issues resolved, you have biology making recommendations. So we're going to do that, and you present them to any international community to look for money. They look at the environmental documents and say, oh, these people are serious. Here in California, you go put a bridge down, and they find the other bridge you want to tear down, they find 2 or 3 birds flying out of there. They send biology, then the next day, they find a net, they tell you and the designer and the contractor, you'll wait until next year. We don't want to disturb the bird. 50, 55, 60, $70 million job. They put stop to it. They say, you'll wait until the bird feel like they want, especially if the bird has small baby in there, you got serious problem. They're not doing it because they don't want you to work, but they're looking for the future. Okay? And this is how you build. This is how development happens. The country you've been traveling all over in the West, the European country, all of the fine buildings, they didn't come overnight. People sacrifice for tomorrow. Some of the buildings you're looking at right now in Europe, here in the United States, some of the people that built it, they're not even alive anymore, but they're still there. The next generation will enjoy it. This is that's how we need to think. We think for the future. We think for the future. So if Dr. Weir is coming up and want to put a decent role like this, let's hold him to that. Let's explain. I will do my best. But the Liberian engineers are closer to home than me way over here in California. And things that perhaps some of them, I got friends, a lot of friends over there. If they don't understand, they call me. I will explain it. I don't mind doing that. Even if it means for me to take trips from here to go to Monrovia and impact the young engineers and do engineering capacity building for the young engineers. I don't mind doing that. I've done it before. But there's a young man right now, all the way in Cape Palmas, building, doing some survey that I taught him almost 2 years ago. When I got there, they have no clue. He had no clue about survey instrument. He didn't know how to do level. And I taught them. Most of you saw the video. But when he posted his stuff the other day, I said, "Oh, I'm not going to call his name." And I said, "Oh, thank you." He said, "Oh, they call me Blaku anyway. Thank you, Blaku, for showing us the thing you show me. That's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm proud of it." Okay, so these things are not something that you can just do overnight. We must allow ourselves to sacrifice ourselves for the future generation. If Dr. Weir come up with a policy and say, let's try and construct a highway, let's take that opportunity to do so. Let me now show you another one. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Okay, let me show you another one. This here, you can see the one that you're looking at right now. The water, the intent here, you see how they slope? They want the water away from the road, but it got ditch. So the ditch over there is lower than the road and it's lower than the sidewalk, whatever you want to make, because they don't want water going into people's yard. If I build my road, I don't want me something to a road business, somebody get flooded. I don't want that. That's not nice. So then I will find means to put something here so the water can drain into a ditch and go to a pipe. Okay, let's look at the other one. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Okay, here's the other one here, and this one they tell you the right of way. They're very specific, and again, this is called divider highway, by the way. Okay, 4-lane divide. This thing come from Google Earth. Google. You go type Google and say 4-lane divided highway. They will give you all this information. That mean who draw it in here. That mean who put it together. I get it from Google, but I know about them. Okay, so here they give you the different dimension. They tell you how long, how far, those kinds of stuff. So these things are very good for us to have. They're very good to have. So once again, if the people, the proposal from public work, if they want light pole in the middle, you see how they trench digger that I showed you earlier. You see what important will be, because now you don't necessarily, you can build this thing. It's not like a house. You build this thing, when you're done, you start digging your trench and put all your because you will have to have a trench digger, and you also have to have a excavator for you to put the pole, and these pour the concrete in the middle of that. And how do you protect those? Those are going to be considered fixed object, and any fixed object on a highway is being protected by guardrail. So if you have like for example the signpost, if you're driving next time on a highway, just keep attention. And when you reach to a signpost, the sign, they say, 15 miles away to the next exit. Watch that signpost. They're not going to leave it alone standing out there. They do that one If you see one, let me know. I want to drive over there. I don't have to kill myself. I just hit it one time. I'm going to total because I will be rich. No, on a very serious note, if you find anything that is considered to be fixed object on a highway, it's always protected. They want to make sure the safety aspect of this thing is high. Okay? So these things are very important. I'm not going to go into the design because I don't have their design. I wish they have allowed me to review, be part of the reviewer, part of the reviewing process of the design. Because how out of a sudden, we just hear overnight, almost overnight, the highway going to be done and we're going to select the contractor. Where's the design? In this design process, do we have environmental documents that take into consideration environmental issues, or we don't care for those things? We're supposed to for the future. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, folks, I've been out here now for quite a while. Let me see. Okay, no. I'm not going to run away right now. I have one other important thing that I want to show you. Okay, I talked to you earlier about building. No, I think I'll do it Friday. But let me just whet your appetite here a little bit, and then I'll let you think about it and see if it is something you think you can do. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm going to show you something else here very quickly. Why does junk keep coming up, man? But anyway, Samson too. I'll show you something here very quickly. No, don't save. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be showing you here. Okay, next thing I'm going to be showing you very quickly here, and then we can put up the number. Is this? Okay, and here we go, right here. All right. So look here now. So I don't want you to think, say I get this thing. This thing, any one of you can go on Google Earth and be able to do what I'm doing right now. It's not magic. It's there. You can get it. Okay, you can get it. All right. So this is Buchanan. Okay, that highway over there, and this is a highway that we're talking about. I believe this is a highway we've been talking about. Okay, this is EW Junction. Is it EW Junction? Yes, this is EW Junction, folks. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. This is EW Junction. Okay, so now, if these people are going to put a highway in here, how do they, and the Maria Grangida, this Tottenham Boulevard, it's not a highway. They already told us they wanted to do a grade separation. I'm not too sure how this is going to go. And this is why people have to let other people review these things. Because if you're going to start a highway from here, what happened to these people's property? Are they all going to be bought? Are they all going to be purchased? Okay? You're going to do this. What happened to this street here? Okay, and all of these white lines, they're all street, though. They're all street. How do you connect these things? You see, as I'm going towards Ralphie right now. Let me turn it the other way so it will be easier for me. Okay? All right? Okay. So as I'm going here, I'm going through Ralphie. Now this is SD Cooper Boulevard right here. You see it? SD Cooper. How do you now connect this SD Cooper Boulevard to this major highway? Okay? And here is some SKD Sport Complex, the football field. And I hear, okay. So how do you do all of these things? This is a football stadium. We saw on the rendering they have an overpass for pedestrian overpass. They have that. They can do all of that. That's fine with me. But how do you convey all of these traffic that line up against this highway? Where do you put them? How do you connect them back onto the road? That's something they have to come out with. They're going to have to tell us. So how wide do you want this road? I told you already. I told you earlier that this whole thing here, they're going to have to. They have no choice. They have no choice. They're going to have to make this whole thing here, from here all the way to Suffering. They're going to have to make that. They're going to have to make this from here all the way to Suffering. They're going to have to make it into an urban design. And then from there they make it, they go the rural area. So the speed limit in this area is not going to be the same speed limit when you pass Suffering. That I've already established. I think I will stick with that. Okay, but how do you get all of these people? Okay, all these traffic that come from one community to another. How do you connect them to the highway itself? Every street do you connect? Every street do you have intersection? Every street do you have a T intersection? Every street do you have a rear intersection? How do you do that? Now, what I'm suspecting, they're going to have a frontage road. For example, this whole side, all of these streets, they go on a frontage road. Everybody come on frontage road until you get to 13 mile. Then you say, okay, let's put everybody on the highway now. Then you start again, another frontage road. Because you can't just keep putting people boom on the highway like that. Every little street. That's not going to happen. That's not, I just don't see that. I just don't see that. So they're going to have a frontage in any, most of you that live in the major city, when you're driving on the highway, they have this frontage road that comes out and runs side by side, parallel to the main highway, but then at a certain length, then they go and put you on the highway. You understand? That's what they call collectors. They collect the traffic in that area and convey that traffic into the major highway, and that's why they call it collector, frontage road. Okay, all right. So when you do that, now let's see. Now let me see. Okay, this is all this is all city. So this, what I'm saying to you here, all of this city, this road here, if they're going to do it, they were going to have to find. You see all of these white lines, these little white lines. These are all roads, okay, that connect to this Ralphie Road, all right, that come from these different community. So you find which one of the area that most people are is a little bit bigger. For example, all of the traffic, you see, this is where I get stuck. Because I'm not quite familiar with all that stuff. But I know one thing. All of the traffic in that area that comes to what Joshua, did I say Joshua? I mean Dr. Weir. Excuse me, Mr. President. My apologies, sir. Please forgive me. The place that where Dr. Weir live. What's his name of that street again? Rehab. Yeah, Rehab. All of the street from left from going towards the Ralphie itself and coming towards Monrovia, all of the little street, you connect all of them on a frontage road until you get to Rehab. Then you use the Rehab as a main federal road to convey all of that traffic coming out of there onto the main road. But here's the interesting thing: the Rehab is a T. It doesn't cross the major highway. It comes in as intersection as a T. So how do you get people that come out of there to go to Monrovia without interrupting the continuing traffic that coming through on Ralphie Highway, this 4-lane highway? You're going to have to provide on-ramp. It's going to be interesting. That's why you can't have anybody coming from Total to come and be your construction person overnight. You're going to have, no, on a very serious note, you're going to have people who have the experience, because that whole area, if you're going to keep the senior lineman at Rehab, you're going to lift the road. And in order for you to lift the road, when you lift the road, you're going to have a side slope. So most of the building will be gone if you want to keep it. If you don't keep it, then you just put it there the way you're there, Maria Kagata Highway, the sink Tommy Bolan died on, it stayed there. You're just how do you call it? pave the whole thing and call it the highway. But you're not going to be able to get two-lane highway coming to how do you call it, EWA junction without taking people's houses out. Okay, so once again, I think if the people come out and estimating $95 million for this project, like I said, I will try and do my estimate, rough estimate by Friday. But $95 million, just to come think about it. You know how many houses you're going to be breaking down here? You know how many property you're going to be buying? You know how many? You can't just say it. You have to think about it first. And I'm sure these people have done their job. They've done their homework. I hope. So the design, unless you say, you know what? Forget all the people. I don't even see another place you're going to put a road here. Even if you put it on the beach, you're still going to be taking people property. So this is going to be interesting all the way to Suffering. Okay, see the other major they got Suffering here. Yeah, I think that's Suffering. Okay, all right. So anyway, so all of these people here, as you keep going, okay. Well, La Marshall here. But how come? Oh, I missed. Samson, please. I missed the highway. Folks, I'm not even driving on the highway. I missed it already. I've got to go to Marshall. Yeah, the highway coming over here. Oh my goodness. I'm enjoying myself. But anyway, so I'm just suggesting by the time they get to Marshall, you know who's gonna get more money out of this thing here? The Alex Tyler. Because Alex Tyler's property on the highway is very expensive in the area and they're close to the road. So if you touch his property, you know how many dollars you're gonna pay? Unless you're gonna take that road and elevate it, take it way up in the air, which is not gonna be suitable anyway. So I just I'm gonna be doing more of this here from time to time, but I want people to understand that these things, Barry, but that these things that we keep talking about, people sinking and crying, oh, President Joy, we are not doing it again. No, don't just think like that. It's a little bit much more involved than just that. If you think, unless, like I said, if they're going to build the road, just 2 lane. Because if you think you're going to have 4-lane highway from EWA Junction to Robert Fee, it's going to cost more money than what they're saying. But unless you're going to pay the Liberian, you know how we are with money business. And you start doing on this highway here, you start doing eminent domain to take people land. The court issue you're going to face, you will not even believe it. If you do eminent domain on this road and say you want to take people land, the court issue that you will face, you will not believe it. Because it's not something that you should go and just take people land. No, they're not going to allow you to do that. Okay? So I just thought that I put this thing out here tonight, folks. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. It's going to be interesting. The sad thing is I can't talk much about the design. I would love to have my hand on their design because I like to see how these people. It's going to be interesting how these people are going to have 4-lane highway. Even if they decide to do grade separation, if they decide to do a grade separation on this job, on this project, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because if you say you're going to do grade separation, all of you're here one side before you go to the road start going up, grade separation. So if you're going to do a grade separation on this road here, how are you go? Because if you do grade separation, unless again you can do that, you can put a lot of piles down, and you just put bridges on them, and that way you don't touch people's land. You just stay right there on the highway. Okay, that could be a very interesting subject. Those of you that live in Philadelphia area, even in New York, you see no train They got one above one another. I mean, one over the other one, and the train go underneath. You can do that, but it's going to be very, very expensive. It's going to be very expensive. And so, let me, before I take leave of you, I have to go back one more time to this stuff here. This is what I want to talk about here this afternoon. It's a very short one. Okay, on this highway, we have a bridge. Okay, we have a bridge. I don't know the name of the river here, but we have a bridge. Well, I'll leave that for Friday, but I'm not too sure how they're going to address that. Let me now go ahead and open the line, folks. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, and just tell me whether I for or it. I can't stay here all night. All right, okay. Let me go ahead and open the line and give me a call here and let me know what you think. And even if you're not an engineer, you don't have to be an engineer. Just ask whatever question. If it's engineering question or something, if I can't answer it, I will let you know. But other than that, this is Samson to LeBron Public Radio. Can you hold on 1 minute, please? Hello? Well, I'm doing some bad thing. One of these days, I will leave this thing open and then start talking, and people will hear my conversation, who I'm talking to and what I'm doing. Mr. George, please give me a call again if you don't mind. I'm sorry that I missed your call. Give me a call again, Mr. George, if you don't mind. That's the analyst, Amos George. Amos George, you can give us a call again. So, folks, just yeah. Anyway, folks, Friday, first thing I'm hoping to do Friday. But remember now, besides the Alfonso, so yeah, National Crowd, they're not paying me fast. They're not firing me 10 times already. So they don't pay me. So besides that, I got my other job too. No, but I'm very serious, no, folks. By Friday, I will do my best to put some sort of an estimate together, and I will review the estimate with you guys. There will be some words. Mr. George, if you're listening, please give me a call. There will be some words that I will use, and I will try my best to explain it. If I can even show you what it is, and then I will put a price on it. And those of you that have been to Liberia or have worked in Liberia before, and you tell me, no, Mr. So that's not, and then we just go through it and have fun with it. How's that? Let me see. Mr. George, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Go ahead. What do you think? I follow here. No, nothing.
You know, that's why I didn't want to call, even though my computer was doing well, but that's why I didn't want to call. I wanted to give you time to explain to the Liberian people what we are going to go into. Because this is what we need. Let everybody get informed information. So when they're talking, they can't say, oh, but nobody over there, nobody say anything to us. Now, what you're doing, this is exactly what we need when this issue comes out. Let us jump into the politics of this whole thing here. And now the question you answer is a serious question. The design of the project must be presented to the Liberian people. So you people can look at it and cross-examine it line by line. See the action, what all involved. Like you said that you come up with some figure, well, these are some of the questions we want to be asking you. What do you think it will cost? Or what is the cost to construct 1 mile road, 2 mile road? What is the estimate cost? A 4-lane road with 2 going to kind of water, there will be a dividing line, divide, whatever. What will it cost? So let the government make the design available to you people who are the engineers, Liberians. So you can look at it. But Mr. Tom, let me be upfront with you from what you're discussing tonight. That company doesn't have the capacity. I am telling you, that company does not have the capacity to do that work. The equipment that you just displayed, that company doesn't have even 2. Use one, they don't have it. They don't. And you want to give them that kind of contract. They're going to be, let the government go back. Because from what you're seeing, the estimate cost of that project now, if the Nigerian people, they won't want it up to stand up, it will have to go up. But if it is going up, it must be given to a reputable company that will do the work so tomorrow people cannot regret. This company in question, East International, does not have the capacity from what you just explained. They do not have any of the equipment. All the news that we're getting from Liberia, that company has worked, after they don't complete the work, they abandon the job. They talk about the road behind the executive marshal. They name Soul Clinic. They need Pipe Down Road. I know Francis, some of my friends at school in Ghana, so they named it. Then they named the Banga Highway. I mean, Banga City Road. All these projects were not completed by the company. So why would you take that kind of huge contract and give it to that community? Now the secretary said something too. You said that there's government there with the same company. But my argument to Mr. Tolle is that, okay, it's time government there with the same company, but look at the work and President Ware is talking about fighting corruption. Why would you compare to deal with the same company when they come in have a bad track record in Liberia? All the roads that are telling you about, you can see it, you're right in Malawi, it's not outside. And they go and take the same contract and award the same contract, then you're making an argument. It's like they say, oh, since the time government was dealing with them, we have to deal with them. No, it is not compulsory that you don't deal with it. That's the argument Smith will put out today. This company, we don't have to talk about the tax government dealing with them. But the tax government dealing, look at the shit what they did Moria. And it isn't viral. So you're telling me you got a tax government there with them, so you will have to deal with them. Is that the only construction company in Liberia? These people, Liberians, should not sit down and waste a lot of money. It is wrong. And to the issue of Senator Dillon and Senator Cooper, I listened to Akaya Gray today. I listened to Senator Samuel Johnson. Samuel Johnson said, when they were closing, when they came for that emergency break, that when they ratified the contract, that was Samuel Johnson was responding to Dillon. They asked him, he said, the contract was ratified by us. But then here is the question, ask Samuel Johnson, did you view the contract? He said, once it came to roll, we are offered development. So when it comes to roll, anything, we sign it. But then they asked him, one of the guys who is connected to the company is a close buddy of Samuel Johnson. He was using Samuel Johnson that he had an accident all with it. So you can see why Samuel Johnson is saying this, that they have ratified the contract. But how the contract was ratified? First, the Minister of Finance is supposed to come do all the figures. What the figure of that is, who gave the loan, what are the terms and conditions of the loan, how it's going to be paid. When the Minister of Finance does that, then they send it to the Senate for ratification. The Senate now look at it and say, oh yeah, okay, these are the terms and conditions of the loan. These are the conditions of the loan. So now we can commit the Liberian government. That is the Liberian to the contract. So if anything goes wrong, we are obligated to the people to pay the loan. That wasn't done. That wasn't done. So how now Senator Johnson saying that the contract was rectified? Was it how was it rectified? That's a huge contract you're doing the people. The Liberian people should be informed. If not few senators getting together and say, okay, that's it. And if it is so, then it is wrong. The Liberian people should demand that that contract must be revisited. That ratification must be revisited. But that wasn't the Senator was insinuating that they ratify it. How did they ratify the contract? Did they inform all of them, or they just went through a group of senators got together and say, okay, we are the executive, we can do it? Because that one, Akaya was saying, now, the people, I think the president wrote them, and they referred to the executive. So in other words, send they refer to the executive, it means that the executive could have just gone and look at it and sign it. I mean, it's been ratified. That's what Akaya was saying today. You can see that this contract, Mr. Toole, it is a bogus contract. All people have gotten kickback. All people, those senators that they are alleging, they have gotten a kickback from the contract. And the Liberian people should not sit down. You're talking about $100 and some million contract to just give to some company that doesn't have any kind of equipment. Yeah. To give them that contract. And what do you explain? Look at the kind of complication, complex job you are talking about to be done on a highway. Why would they just take this company? He's working as a building material dealer. They have transformed themselves into a company. And you for giving them all that contract, I think the Liberian people must wake up. Nobody, none of us has said any development for Liberia. But nowadays, to get money is hard. So when you're committing the contract to a project, the contract must benefit from that project in the long run. It's not that today they talk and they do some waste the day over the way to put that water over the road. They say that put that. one time, you look, the whole place is muddy. This is why we're going to go into. You're talking about people property. Yesterday, I was listening to the news. People on the highway, they said since 3 months, they went there, they marked the hospital, probably marked the hospital that they are in the roadway. The people said since 3 months, they have not heard from government. Someone said they got a shop, they cannot buy goods again because they don't know what the government going to do. And they are afraid to buy goods, then the government can break the place down. So now the government has not gone back to them to compensate them. If you are using eminent domain, that money got to be upfront now to start paying the people to get it out of the way. The company doesn't have that money. Why the company? How you award this? What is their company revenue? Do they have $50 million in the bank? If they have $50 million, then let it go and start paying these people. They don't have to wait for the government to issue a check. They have the contract already. If they are competent and capable, then let it go ahead and start paying these people. I was told today that the company were not able to pay the tax that they just want because of the contract. They pay $6,000 to the revenue authority to get a tax or receipt. $6,000. The company being operating all that time, they have not been paying taxes. But because now they got $100 and something million contract, they're going now to pay $6,000 to get tax receipt. Is that real company that you want to put your contract in their hands to do that kind of job? Look, the Liberian people, it is not time for us to be petty. We got to be real. And if we got to be real, we must hold our leader accountable. In as much we want roads, we want infrastructure, but it should be done the proper way this time around. We should not make the mistake of the past because that's the same mistake every made without hydro. The money that they took to go reconstruct that hydro, they should have taken that money, go somewhere and build a new dam. And build a new dam. The money they put into that hydro, they should have taken that money and go somewhere and build a new dam. They say they want to renovate it. It would have been cheaper to build a new dam than renovating that dam. So just come to our feet. They want to build a 4-lane road. The road must be standard, and the company must have a record to show us.
Okay.
It's not build road in Freetown. They not build road in Guinea. They not build road in Ivory Coast. They not build road in Ghana, Nigeria. So what is the record? What is the track record of the continent? Doing a job that you can say, yes, look at the road. This is what they did in the country. Look at the road. They don't have no track record. They want the data like that. All the road they care for. Look at those roads. Look at those roads. They have not completed the road. The one behind the mountain that I think you were seeing, 8 inches high of that firewall. So if the car slip on it can't come back the road. Your car cannot come back on the road on the high of that road. And you know it, you were talking about the car cannot come back 8 inches high. How will the car come back? And you stuck there.
Okay.
And those are the people you're going to get Rafi Highway, a major highway. Look at that road. What are you going to do? Boston, the Boston Junction there. What is the design for that place? So, Mr. Tool, that's why I said I was waiting for you to really lay all these things to the Liberian people so they can see. They just say, oh, they're talking, they ain't got nobody that can send, they ain't got no internet. No, they see you. You display, this is a teaching moment for us. And if the Minister of February knows, please let him pass all the design over to you. If they didn't get money, let it tell, oh, we'll go from it so we can get all the documents over. So they can say they didn't got money to send by email or whatever. Let it tell the Liberian people, we'll raise the money so they can send all the documents over to you so you can look at it. And other engineers so you can look at it to tell the Liberian people what that road going to be and what they should expect. Because they have gone and taken Google, take pictures and put it all over. They said that how the road be designed.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, Mr. George. Yeah. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah. That's the analyst of LPR analyst giving me my feedback here. But thank you very much, Mr. George. We appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That's the voice of Mr. Amos George, who's giving me some feedback of my presentation here tonight. Folks, if you're just joining us, I'm not too sure if you will be able to contribute to the conversation, except you're just hearing what Mr. George says. I spent some time here trying to lay out everything else. But anyhow, I think Mr. George, I'm going to research Samuel Johnson's statement, Cara Gray's statement, and then that will be part of my presentation on Friday. We're going to go through that. Those of you that wanted Mr. George up now, he's out now. Give me a call now. The number's up there. Call and make your comment now. You just writing. Just make a comment. Call so people can hear your voice. But anyway, let me just point out something here on a very serious note. I'm an engineer, trained, and still practicing engineer here in the state of California as a designer, roadway designer. So like I said, when it comes to that, I'm not taking any back seat to nobody. I'm not saying that I know everything, and I'm not saying that I know anything anyway. But what I have done, and I'm continuing to do that. I'm not taking back seat to nobody. You want to bring it on? Bring it on. Let's see what your argument gonna be. So what I'm saying, if it's not true, say so. If my safety presentation, if my presentation that I put out here, the construction equipment that I put out here, the time that I took to explain, if it's wrong, say so. Don't sit back there and sit behind your desk and start writing. That's unfair to all of us. But anyway, let's go on. Friday, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Friday, like I said, I think let me try to walk that back. Because if I want to do it correctly and try to do my best here, let me give myself some time, because you're talking what is it? This is 28 miles. Okay. Okay. That's like 112 miles. Reason being, 28 miles to go, 28 mile to 228 going, 228 coming. Okay? All right, so let's say 28. I don't know. You tell me. Okay, if it's not 112, let me know. All right. So anyway, here is what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to lay it out quickly. I will take this Google Earth. Okay, I do have the ability to be able to find where the contour of that road is, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spend that kind of time. I'm not a designer, so I'll just do the rough of the roadway. I'll just do the rough. But here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I will take I'm not going to. I don't think I can give you that by Friday. I will put some time in there, and not just give you Liberian stuff here. I'll put some time in there. Okay. I'll put some time in and try to come up with, because there's so many. But before I leave tonight, hold on, folks. Samson, just give me a minute here. Okay, just give me a minute here. If you want to leave, that's fine. I think most of the... Okay, just give me 1 minute here. Okay, just give me a minute here. I'm trying to get something going here quickly, and then... and my machine is not cooperating with me here, so just okay. All right, I got what I'm looking for. Okay, so point here is this. Okay, so the point here is this. They're gonna be okay. Just rough. For all of us, just rough. Those of you that are still with me, just rough. Okay, so the roll. Let me put this thing back up again. This is how I'm going to approach it. All right. You see here the full lane, one going that way, another one going. Okay, the lane itself. So the lane itself. All right. Now you can tell me. Share son, you're talking nonsense. You have no clue what you're talking about. You have no clue what you're talking about. Share son, you're talking nonsense. You need to get off my page. You have no clue what you're talking about. Nobody failed anything. When I did the estimate, I think before, you see, that's why when you come late, then you talk nonsense, because you didn't hear me from the beginning. I told you from the beginning when I did the show, and I told you that when I did the estimate of that building, that I used the estimate from here. Some of you just sit down, don't do anything in the community, but you want to criticize. You don't do nothing in the community. It took me almost 3 months. 3 months it took me to do that building. And all of the ladies that are involved, why you think they're holding your $10,000 today? Because they refuse to give you the money because you will eat it. That's what you guys do. And when I did that building, not 5 cents they pay me. For 3 months, I was on that design. On that design. If it was not for your big mouths, for you to start creating confusion, that building would have been up $500,000 what? Grand Gideon's ready in a place here. How many dollars? Just when we went to Phoenix, we were able to raise almost $70,000. $500,000 what? But because they don't have trust in any of you, share son, they don't have trust in any of you guys as a leader. Because you're eating people money. That's why they don't want to trust you. You think they weigh me of Grand Gideon County. They weigh me of Grand Gideon County that this project is for. You think if you charge each of them and say every month pay $110, you don't think they can do it? The with me, the backbone of Grand Gideon Association, the backbone of Grand Gideons here in America. How many times have you gone to a party or a gathering of Grand Gideons and you with me come and beg on the gate? Like your men, then you go and beg. You have some of us, we go and beg at the gate. And you come in here and come in writing nonsense. You have no clue. You have no clue. You have no clue what you're talking about. I did that building. I never practiced engineer before in Liberia. I told you that. So the agreement between the women and myself was I'm going to design it, but I will design it when I put the estimate together. The estimate is going to be based on what I do here. Fool. You don't know nothing. Shut up, share, son. Just for president business. You know what I do every day? Why do you think the president will listen to some people that consider themselves multi-engineer if they have failed their own district? What district did I fail? What county did I fail? Why don't you go ask Jean Djibouti? Why don't you go ask Thomas Collins? Why don't you go ask Fred Gwen? Why don't you go ask Ramsey Wright? Those are the president of the I don't care whether they like me or not, but they're not gonna lie to you. Please. You got nothing on me. I'm blocked. You can't do nothing to me. You can't do nothing to me. You ain't ever me. You ain't ever me. So that was Jean Djibouti. Jean Djibouti. You know what Jean Djibouti did? He's the president now. You know what he did? When the women finished, I went to Philadelphia. I paid my own way from here, from Sacramento. I went to Philadelphia to do the presentation. We did the presentation. Another engineer, Joe Murray, used to be president of the Liberian community over there in Connecticut. He joined me. Another engineer, Abraham Barr, who used to be who worked for Florida as an engineer, worked for Florida Department of Transportation as an engineer. He joined me. And they didn't do much on it because the job was already done. You sit there in a play, you're just making beam. You're ever blog. You're ever blog. He come in writing nonsense here. Prince Dawah, look, I don't know who the guy is. Look, share song. Prince Dawah, look what he writing. Prince Dawah real writing. When I did the women project, I didn't ask anything. I did it for 3 months. Every night I work. Every night I do this thing, and I did it. I gave my estimate, $500,000. Another engineer came in, did the same thing, came up with the same amount. But because I said 500,000, I told them the 500,000, and all of you know, I said it over and over. The 500,000 is based on the material and labor cost here in the United States because I got nothing to go by over there. I never practiced engineering. You want me to lie? Like y'all go around and lie in the place? Jean Djibouti, the president, the current president, you know what he did? They asked him to make the banner that was supposed to use that night. He charged the woman $100. The woman said, okay. But then when we're ready to announce, we'll announce that we'll pay you $100. As soon as they get in finish, he said, hey, yeah, $100. You're paying your money, do that thing. He gave the people $100 back. I sound to 5 cents. They didn't pay me. Go ask any of the women that are involved. That one of the reasons they're keeping your $10,000, the women refuse to give your $10,000 because they know they give it to you, y'all will eat it. Come back next time. Can't talk nonsense here. Okay, let me go on, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. What I lay out here this evening, this is how I'm going to go about the estimate, okay? And the major item on this project here is the structure section. All right, it's the structure section. So I said 112 miles for all 4 lanes. Okay, so 112 is 5,280 feet to a mile. Okay, so if you do the math, okay, you're gonna come up now. If you do, that's just the feet now. Okay, 591,360 feet. All right, I will take that. I know for sure that the shoulder, okay, I'm not going to give them maximum. So I'll come out and say, okay, the shoulder, the standard say right shoulder, it goes anywhere from 5 feet to 10 feet. Inside shoulder, you can go from 2 to 4. So I will give them shoulder to say it's 5-foot shoulder. I know the thickness of the asphalt. They can't put anything less than 4 inches down. So I will give them 6 inches. Okay, that's just the shoulder. So I know the outside lane to be 12 foot. I know the inside lane to be 12 foot. I know the inside shoulder, I will give them 4. So what do we have now? We have 5, 24, and 4. Okay, do the math. Okay, we got it's going to be 33 feet. All right, that's just for asphalt. Then I do the other side. So 33, that would be what? 66 feet for the 4 lane. Okay, now if I use the 4 lane as being 66 feet, okay, 66 feet wide. Now remember, now I'm giving it 6 inches thick. Okay, so same shot, you know everything. You better listen and clean your ear before you come talk to Bloku. You know how Bloku you want to start. You want to start again. You know me, yo. When I deal with you, I put my pen down here. You know me. You know me. Okay. You ain't want. You know me, yo. Bloku. When I come back again, you know yourself. But anyway, so the weight of the thing. So let's just say 66 feet wide. Okay, 66 feet wide by what did I say? 59. Okay, hold on. 112 times 5,280. So it's 591,360. So 591,360 feet total. Okay, so times 60. Now the 6 inches, you don't go 6 inches. You're gonna have to convert that into foot. So what is 6 inches in feet now? 6 inches is 0.5. So 0.5 times, okay, so if I do that, what would I get? I'm gonna get a cubic foot now. Okay, because feet square plus times the other one, it becomes 3, so that cubic foot. Okay, so 0.5 times 60 times 59,1360. Okay, 17740,800. Okay, cubic feet. I have to convert that into cubic yard. Sir, what? You don't run away? Come back. Sir, son, you know what a cubic yard is? Okay, so he doesn't know. All right. Okay, so that divide by 27. 6,570,66. 6,500,000. 65. You 66. Okay. 657,666 cubic yard I'm going to get, but I have to turn the cubic yard into tonnage because that's asphalt. Okay, so I'm going to go through. In order for me to go into tonnage, I have to go through the 2,000 pound equal 1 ton. So I have to convert that from pound from cubic feet. Now from cubic yard to tonnage, from tonnage to pound, from pound then go into tonnage. I don't want to do that here on the radio. That's not. I'm not here to teach. I'm just showing you. Okay, so it's going to be tonnage because the asphalt going to be paid by tonnage. Now, if it was concrete, I can leave that into cubic yard. That's fine. Okay. Now that's one item. Another item on this. The major, I'm just giving you two major, I'm just going to give you 1 or 3 major items. Another items on this is the base. Okay, the base. So I will give them the base of say 8 inches base. And it's also good because I dirt now. We're going to be living the cubic yard. Only asphalt, you turn to tonnage. Asphalt, you pay by tonnage. If like LIBERIA, whatever, they pay by tonnage. They don't pay by cubic yard or square yard. Sometimes they do, but most people go tonnage. Okay, so anyhow, the base. Okay, so we're gonna pay then that. Okay, the base, the soft base, the finished grade, the asphalt. All right. So when I'm done with that, then I will also, based on the Google Earth here, I will decide where those pipes that I'm going to for drainage pipe, and they better not give me the kind of nonsense drainage you put in Monreal. The open ditch, they call it a drainage. Don't give me that. Those things when people about 2 or 3 years, because people put in dirty water in it that it mixed with different kinds of chemical and things that they start eating the cement. I don't want to deal with that. I'll put plastic pipe. Plastic corrugated pipe. Okay, so that's the material I'm going to use. So I'm going to give all of that, and each of those pipes, how far do I want to space them so I can put a DI? You know what a DI is? Wait a minute, you finna run away? You know what a DI is? Chasson, you know what a DI is? Okay, inlet, drainage inlet. So I'll put an inlet in there. Okay, now the inlet that I'm going to put in, if I find an area that I can put a lot of water comes out of, that I can figure a lot of water going to go through, then I will not use just DI. I will use manhole, big one, because the pipe going to have to be bigger. Okay? So I'll be able to drain it out. Okay? So those are the kind of material that I'm going to be coming on. Okay? And there will be some material that will come on, I will call it lump sum, because I can't quantify that. Say, for example, clearing and grubbing. How do you, they're not found, they're not total found, coming to cut bush. I just say, okay, for clearing and grubbing, okay, this amount, lump sum. Okay, that's how you do this. That's how you do this estimate. So I wish I had these people drawing. And where is Sarson? Let me show this fool something else here quickly. Okay. They're building a row over there in Sophie Ice Cream. I designed a Samsung, Chasson, you call yourself. I designed it. Mr. Fool, I designed it. Okay, for you to come out here and make this kind of nonsense comment about my work, I designed that row. And according to the guy that I talked to, the engineer that I talked to, they're building it right now. Okay? I don't even need to show you anyway. I can show you if I wanted to, but I'm not going to show you. So y'all go back to your chief there and tell them and say, oh, that's something too. He said he's getting ready again. Come back next time, come and start foolishness here. When I finish loading on you and your chief, y'all know. Y'all know me. Y'all know me already. I don't run away yet. It's just that I said, okay, maybe they're quiet now. Let me just leave it. But you come in on you think I don't know you. You come in on and talking nonsense. Okay, y'all try again. Okay, but anyhow, that's gonna be my presentation Friday, and on a very serious note, what I'm trying to do here It's not for George Weah, Dr. Weah then to come and pick me to be this and that. Far from it. When I went home, free. Nobody paid me anything. I was there for 2 months teaching. It's not to say I just stay here and not do anything. When I came back, they've been sending me projects for me to do. I've been doing some projects. Some of the wrong term Alice job, I've been designing some of them. So it's not like I've been here not doing anything. For you to come on my page and talk about something critical thing about who are you? What do you know? What do you know? No, he know. Okay, so it's a sad situation. It's a sad situation. But one thing for sure, when we're talking on national level, then you can't bring grand issue in it. That's why you got 2 grand association. When Bloku used to tell you stop the confusion. Because when you're getting women split, it will be difficult to put together. And GD, I call it GDA, now they're doing good. You started that confusion. When I told you, I said, you stop. You put a thing together and be able to work together. Everybody you want to impeach. You know what an impeachment is? We want to impeach the president. We're going to, you got 2 associations now. You go put it back together now. Let's see. And you come in here, come talk about $500,000. Go sue me. Samson Toe, don't disrespect me. Who the heck you think you are?
Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because you see me in papa. Don't disrespect me because I get on papa. You will not disrespect because I will on donga. We not build it, but we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. We not build it, we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. Alcohol, but then alcohol.
Yeah, he was so anxious to come and defend George Weah against me that he didn't even know what he was writing. But it really doesn't matter to me. He just got me a little bit angry because I know them. They started with me, and I dealt with them. I know the group. I dealt with them good. The entire year, they won't come back again. The thing say, I owe you. I'm still young. You're bringing Bloku with deal with you. Y'all know Bloku. I don't know why you coming here, start nonsense. You know who Bloku is. What's wrong with you? You forget? Because I want intelligent. If you did, big, I'm from total. Why intelligent? Who care for intelligence? Bring it. I will deal with you. You will come when you come from there. You will not come on show and can't start foolishness again. Talking about $500,000. You know what? You know how that thing come about? Please. Anyway, folks, Samson told LeBron Pablito, I'm gonna go take leave of you now. Next time, if you want to come on Samson Told show. But here's the note, on a very serious note. All of the things that I talk about here tonight, did I say that George then should listen to me? No. They intend on a very serious note. The intent is to show these things so Liberian will be able to understand. In fact, if anything, if this man really loved George, where he should even come and say, thank you, Mr. Toll. Because I can assure you, if you're going to bring this road to standard, $95 million might not even be enough. Might not even be enough. Okay? So when I come out here trying to show these things, if the company, every one of us know this company, they don't have the capacity, and you're going to give them the kinds of job, Then you come in, oh, you're talking about city people. He can't even do engineering in your village. Yeah? When I went to Total the other day, the Parliament Chief House, he has a big ditch in front of the house. All the water collected that been collecting from the city, from Total City Center, it comes towards his house. So I gave him solution. I stood right there and gave him solution. I said, look, you see all the water, you see all the ditch, and you can see when it rains, how the water come to an area. So I told him, what you need to do, level that side a little bit, put a ditch in here, and you man, don't get me started, man. You're too foolish. I told him, I said, you know, you don't have to go to Tapatown to buy pipe there. You got drum. You got old drum. Cut the bottom of the drum, 3 or 4 of them. Drop it down, or even drop one down in, and on the side of it, cut a hole, and you put whatever pipe you buy, put it, and that becomes your box, your chamber, box chamber, and the water come in there and go out. He did it. You know what he did? You know what he told me the other day? Oh, something, I'm finished doing that thing. No water coming from my house again. Then he said in there, I don't know anything, and he said, I can't do anything in my village. The people in Total said, they said they don't want me again. They say, I'm not Total man anymore. So why you want me to do that? Samson told like bro Pablo, you know, folks say it's a wonderful program this evening, folks. And let me just be serious a little bit. The guy trying to throw me off my game. Prince Dawa, ain't no this Sean guy. You talk to him. They better stop. No, but on a very serious note, President Prince Dawa, that is. But on a very serious note, what I try to do here tonight, folks, it's not like I'm the best engineer. Far from it. Far from it. We have people who are far, far better engineer than me. I just got big more than all. But seriously, I'm trying to point these things out. That if you're going to do these things to bring them to a level where you want, there are certain things you have to do. And that's what I show these equipments. If this company that you're gonna be giving this contract, they don't have the equipment, how are they gonna build it? How are they gonna build these things? They're gonna they're gonna rent out equipment. And even if you're successful getting equipment, who's gonna fit? Because when it's dry season, they dust, and these dust go in. How long? These equipment, most of them use filter. You know anything about filter, my brother? You know how long it would take for the filter to fill out? The air filter that's supposed to separate the dust from going into the engine? These people have the capacity to have mechanic on hand. You're using dozer and your track falls out. Do they have in the middle of a work? Do they have mechanic on hand to come and put the track back on it? Do they know that? The mud area they're going to be walking. Why if one of those bike hole or any of those excavator gets stuck in it, how you get it out? Can they do those things? And then you're going to come out here and bring Grand Jida issue into my show. Are you not embarrassed? Did I tell you that work ain't done? You pay the $500,000 and see if that project ain't go up. They with me keeping your, what is it, 10,000 or 12,000? They refuse to give it to you. They've been holding on to that 10,000 for the last 5 years. They're holding it. They're not going to give it to you. You can call me names, do whatever. The women will not give you that 10,000. You're so pissed. They're holding that 10,000. They're not. They're smart women, intelligent women. I'm not going to call their names now, but they're very intelligent. They know very well that if they give you that 10,000, you will eat it. They're not going to give it to you. You know, President Fred Goyen, you know what he told me one time? He said, Samson, the Grand Jida community in America, when he's, the boy, something, you know, he selected me to be part of the engineering group to be able to come up with a proposal how to fix the road, because the government was not fixing road when it rained, road caught up. So we were doing this. We did a feasibility study. Okay, but you know what he told me? He said, Samson, The Grand community in America, if they can just find somebody they will trust, the people, if you ask them, you'll not collect $1 million, they will do it. Because the thing is, when the road caught up in Grand, every one of us go through that pain. Every one of us go through that pain. Because when the road caught up, our brothers and sisters in Grand County not going anywhere. We suffer. Even if you send money, they can't go to Tappertown to buy stuff. Okay? People die because they can't go to hospital because of bad roads. So there were people that were willing for, and I was willing to go home and do something. But I'm not going to sell myself cheap. If that's why I want around people, I will not do it. You know how long it took me to go to engineering school? I will not sell myself. You want it, you better. I'm saying you're going to pay me. Forget about paying, but ice me. And ice me nicely. Samson too. You want to ice me nicely. Other than that, you got nothing from me. I say so. Next time, don't put me to school again. Next time, if I want to go to college, keep your college money. Don't give me money to go to college, all right? Okay, folks, let me leave that topic for tonight. Oh, my brother, you know, sometimes it's good to let the people know, to let them know. The women came in this place here, they asked me, okay, on the good president, Thomas Collins, they asked me if I can help. I said, fine. I'm not a building designer. I'm not an architect. But I have architecture school. I've done that. I know how. Okay, so when they asked me, I said, fine. I put this building together. And that building is up to standard. The document that I give them, if they can make those documents public, that building, the document, if they make it public, the building will be allowed to be built here in the United States because I made it up to international standard. The rooms, how many people are supposed to be in a room? There is there. How many people? What's the size of a room? What type of building? The character of the building. Okay, you have different types. If it's a school building, under what condition? You name it. If it's not a school building, if it's something else, under what condition? You name it. Okay, so all of those things, I've done those things. I didn't just put a building together because it's in Grand Jide. I applied the international standard. The first thing I did, and that's why I said, women, you can't fool around with them. They asked me, folks, I'm just going to take 1 or 2 minutes of your time if you don't mind. These women asked me, Samson, can you design this building for us? I said, okay. I thought to myself that with me, they're not engineers. I will do it the way I feel like. So I put a building together, thinking said they want a dormitory style type school. I sent it to them. They said, no, that's not what we want. We want a building that will represent hope. We want you to design a building for us that represent hope. H. And that's why this guy here that are talking all the nonsense, he even look at it. That's why if you look at the building picture, it's in the form of H for hope. Okay, here's the thing with that. The kinds of roofing system they have in Liberia, you can only roof up to 40 feet. Okay, that's the kind of roofing system you can do. If you do anything more than that, you're gonna have pilaster in the middle of the building, and that's not what they want to support the roofing system. So, and that's why you have to have it in an H form. I have to come up with an idea that I will be able to roof that building without putting pilaster in the middle of the building. Okay, I did all of that. Okay, they don't have a truss system, roof truss system like they do here. Here, if you go into Walmart and thing, you will see some of these columns standing, they're 50 feet apart. But because they have this system here where the truss system they can spend the trust system to that much. You can't do that in Liberia. None that I know of. Okay? And especially in an area like that. And I don't want to put up a building that in the future people standing underneath then it can't fall down. I don't want to be that type of engineer. Okay? So I thought that we were going to split the building. The women said no, they don't want that. They wanted one building that will represent H. So I have to come up with an idea to be able to design that building so that will represent H. And look at that building. H. You know, H, one leg here, and the cross in the middle. H. That's exactly what I gave them. And I did the roofing. And when I did the roofing, the slope of the roof to come up with that building H. Something to you good man. Oh my goodness. To do the slope, I have to do some serious calculation to be able to come up with that. So when Abraham Barr came in, he's an engineer over there in Florida. When he came in, I gave him all my documents. I said, I appreciate, thank you for coming. Thomas Collins introduced him to me. Young, smart engineer. I said, thank you, AB, appreciate it. Yeah, I don't hide myself. I said, please look at this. And even if it's wrong, let me know. So he took some time and reviewed and did his own estimate and came up with the CM of $500,000. It's not just Samson Toe pulling numbers from Toe Town. I did some serious calculation. That whole complex, I have football field. I have bleachers. That whole complex, I'm using solar panel to supply energy to that building. Solar panels. You know what? You know how much a solar panel cost? Go to Ganta. The solar panel money that I put in there come from Ganta. Because Ganta is not too far away from Town. I mean from Zwadru. Yeah, Town that is. From Zwadru. The same weather. I supply the electricity through I call it solar panel. After that, I put on a water tower. For goodness sake, Grand Genius, what you want from me? What you want? What you want? Don't want me to do it. You ain't pay me. But I'm can't pay road for you. You're not even pay me. That a thank you you'll get for me. That a thank you you'll get for me. So I put all these things. Water tower. They wanted a building. This is the utilization of the building they described to me. They wanted a building that would be able to use mostly young girls. They are concerned with young girls that get pregnant in Grand Jide County that men then don't look after. So the women, they wanted the women of Grand Jide, the backbone of Grand Jide community. I say again, the backbone of Grand Jide community. The women, which is the backbone of Grand Jide community, they put together and say, we want to help our sisters then back home. So they wanted in that building to have daycare. They wanted to make sure they have people who would teach the people how to sew, how to cook. But some other girls that want to do computer and things, so we have computer room, and I divided all of that. Okay? I did all that. And some other engineer, another engineer who doesn't even know me, who's not even a Grand Jide, but because he loved people of Grand Jide, he decided to be part of it. And he helped. He reviewed. You know, if you get clean heart, people will always come around you. Abraham Barr, he's not a Grand Jide. And he didn't even charge anything. So we went to Philadelphia. We did the presentation. People love it. We took that same project presentation we did in Phoenix. Toll, you know the one Toll, former Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Toll, because of the presentation, he loved the presentation so much, he gave $2,000 that night. Mind design. Yes, sit down here, cramp you want me to do it free. I did it free. But because I'm not going to Grand Jide to build your road. Your guy, your superintendent in Grand Jide using front end loader to grade. I just show you grader. They're using front end loader to grade the road in the rainy season. Then I play, I'm gonna come wrong and say you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. You want people? I don't want to make plow with anybody. How you would take front end loader and go grade the road, and you expect me to come and fix it? Then if I don't do that one day, I don't do anything for my county. That not the CLPR that was able to raise funds under Thomas Collins administration to raise funds for the Grand Union Community College in Zwadru for them to get how they call it, gone. That not us. That not something to was running his mouth that night, asking people to pay. What you want? Your crown people, what you want? Oh, you gonna bring it, block will give it to you again. I owe you. I owe you. But you bring it on our way. You know me. You go and research some of my writing on Facebook. Some of my, I know who they man. I know who a boss is. I know the boss. But yeah, I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for them. Then you come in here because your love. You think you love George Weah? You're fooling George Weah all the time. Tell the man the truth. He's not an engineer. Then when I put it in here for you, say, Mr. Yeah, you're close to him. Hey, look at somebody eating something to sing. Then you come here, come to talk about women project. Don't waste my time, man. Anyway, folks, it's been a wonderful. No, come by. I can't. He not saying anything again, oh. I'll see it start again, oh. Yeah, sit down here, yeah, crown people when people try to say you're gonna do that. Why I'm gonna come waste my time now? Yeah, big up, man. Anyway, Samson told LeBron Public Radio, folks, I just thought I'd lay this out here because the gentleman wrote a long piece here. Let me read it. The reason why I'm responding to this is what he said. Why do you think the president will listen to some people that have considered themselves modern engineers if they had failed their own district, counties, and town by false estimation on a public library? You didn't even know whether it's a public library or it's a, because that's the same thing Djibouti be taking around here, public library, okay? A public library project in a little so-called city of 500,000 USA dollar, 500,000 USA dollar complete a single library. Critical thinking must always be evaluated. Why would you write kind of junk like that anyway? You have no clue, none whatsoever. It was not a public library. You don't know the functionality of the building anyhow, and you think say you know the building. It was not a public library. Okay, go look it up. Go and do some research on Grand Union Association. You will find it. It's not called public library that I failed to give information. But anyway, that's the reason why I'm responding to this guy like that, folks. So I usually try to stay away from read. That's the only thing I don't like reading these things. I just let it go, and sometimes I'm glad that I pay attention to it. You will not come by here again and start foolishness next time. If you come here and say what you're saying is wrong, why? Because your measurement is wrong, your information is wrong. According to this is how it's supposed to be. Blah blah blah. You're not even doing that. Let me leave this man alone. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Let me get out of here, folks. It's been a wonderful evening. We appreciate it. Friday. I'm not going to do the estimate now because I want to put some more time into the estimate. I have to find out this. It's going to be much more. First of all, I know the distance. Because they said that's what it wants. So I know the distance. Based on that distance, the only difficult thing that I'm going to have is the piping and the law, because I don't have the survey for me to know the low spot of the road. So I say, okay, I'm going to drain from uphill, I'm going to drain this way and come down to a lower spot, so I will know this amount where I'm trying to put my DI from there to convey to a lower spot to put what I want to put a box cover, and those things will be difficult. Those are things that I will truly use what they call estimate. Okay, but as far as the asphalt is concerned, it's a given. If this is going to be an asphalt road, it's a given. If this is going to be a concrete road, it's a given. Now, the ditch on the side of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a depressed medium, because I want to put tri-beam, so I know the distance. If I'm going to area that I want to use guardrail, and I will know the distance, because I can see guardrail. You put guardrails in places where not just the whole road going to carry guardrail. You put guardrail in area that you're not able to achieve of clear recovery zone. In other words, you're driving, you get out of the road, and you can't come back. The side slope is a certain amount. Those are areas you put guardrail. So I'm not going to put guardrail all over. I will just estimate to say, okay, this place is a little bit deeper, and I think the side slope is going to be this way. Okay, so those are the kind of numbers that I'm going to put down. So don't hold me to those things like this the human being is doing. Okay, and then I'll come back after I'm done. Then you and I, those of you that work in Liberia as a contractor, construction person, or even an engineer, then I'll bring the numbers out. I say this item number is this and this. What do you think? You can tell me, no, this is too high. No, this is too low. When we can have fun like that. So let's continue to play with this. In the meantime, we'll let us pray that the government, the leadership will be okay. Pray for the leadership, pray for the country as well. And let's pray for one another, because through the involvement of God, people like they will come on, make themselves available to us, for us to tell them you don't come on a intellectual platform to talk about things you don't know. Other than that, then Samson still gonna get on you. Other than that, I want to say thank you very much. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I will say good night to all of you. Let's do it again. Tomorrow turn into Mr. Social, and then of course Friday we'll be back here to have a wonderful show. One other thing before I go, pray for me. I'm going to do my presentation tomorrow in a building that is already been suspected of coronavirus, something like that. So I'm going to go in there. God is in control. But the interesting thing, I'm going to go there and do my presentation on coronavirus. So I'm not a medical person, but I'll do my best. From total a bloku, I can do anything.
You're must not disrespect because I will on donga. We not broken, but we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. We not broken, we can make it happen. We not millionaire, but we can keep it popping. I go, back then I go. All in the buildings on me. Back then I go.